Sam Watson and his team, we're going to stand together and fight this disease.
I come this way before, travel through the open door. Circumstances navigate the path, and like happened oh so fast. No, it got lonely. Sometimes you see, I know we couldn't make it. Even when I'm off beat, I still land on my feet, and nothing can shake me, cause I know I took a hold on. I never. This is where I am destined to be. I'm not ready to give up. No, I believe in the miracle of life. Life's a play for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games get played, can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a liar. I'm telling you the truth. It's all in what you do. Some things you gotta do. Fight for millions. Take a second, see the blessing in it. With much expected, much is given. When I made the living, now I'm giving back to children. Never let the power come first before your happiness. Yes, you can be the best if you go the distance. Mix a little sweat with your persistence. You know that the best things are never instant. Just shine up, let them see your brilliance. Get up, open up your eyes now. It's the moment of truth. No backing down. We're bringing it through like oh, for the children, it's a given. You gotta give it, be a blessing.
This my personal statement. Run the game like I'm aces. Learn and develop patience, determined to be the greatest. Yeah, bobbing and weaving, they changing up like the seasons. Indigenous to the grind, so I do it for all my people. Jabbing the competition, back up against the ropes. You fighting for recognition, I'm fighting just to promote equality where we lacking. While cancer slowing our road, I'm confident we'll make it. We focus on common goals. Yeah,
give back, give love, give in some way. Never give up, stand tall to fight another day. 2 toes, 2 feet, I stand on the ground. I'm going back soon and fight this final round. Life's a play for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games get played, can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a liar. Telling you the truth, it's all in what you do, some things you gotta do, I'm gonna share all that I have and give to those in need. So we're gonna win this battle, fight that disease. You don't want that you don't need that's young. We've got to be open. No, I love you. Yay.
Oh my God.
Cancer is killing, millions and millions of people. Me and my team, along with Sam Watson and his team, we're going to stand together and fight this disease.
I come this way before, travel through the open door. Circumstances navigated the path, and life happened all so fast. No, it got lonely. Sometimes you see, I know we couldn't make it. Even when I'm off beat, I still land on my feet, and nothing can shake me, cause I know life took a hold on. Never. This is where I am destined to be. I'm not ready to give up. I believe in the miracle of life. Life's a break for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games can play, can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a liar. I'm telling you the truth. Hey. It's all in what you do. Hey. Some things you gotta do. Hey. It's fight for millions. Take a second, see the blessing in it. But much expected, much is given. When I make the living, now I'm giving back to children. Never let the power come first before your happiness. Yes, you can be the best if you go the distance. Mix a little sweat with your persistence. You know that the best things are never instant. Just shine up, let them see your brilliance. Get up, open up your eyes now. It's the moment of truth. No backing down. We're bringing it tonight. Oh, for the children, it's a given. You gotta give it, be a blessing.
This my personal statement. Run the game like I'm ASICs. Learn and develop patience, determined to be the greatest. Yeah, bobbing and weaving, they changing up like the seasons. Indigenous to the grind, so I do it for all my people. Jabbing the competition, back up against the ropes. You fighting for recognition. I'm fighting just to promote equality where we lacking. Or cancer slowing our road. I'm confident we'll make it. We focus on common goals. Yeah.
Give back, give love, give something away. Never give up, stand tall to fight another day. 2 toes, 2 feet, I stand on the ground. I'm gonna wrestle and fight this final round. Life's a fight for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your goal. Games to play, can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a liar.
What you do, hey, some things you gotta do, hey. JP, JQ, hey, KJ, what it do, Coach, what it do? Hotep, Rob G, what's up? We in here, man. Where we at? Taiwan, Pierre, Rob G, what's up? Birdman, Kevin. Sorry, I got this candy in my. Never supposed to have candy in your mouth when you. My bad, y'all. Anyways, man, welcome to the show, man. We're gonna play this trailer. Let me take this damn candy out, man. That's so unprofessional. Let me play this trailer. While this trailer is playing,
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them myself. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
How many? All right. I appreciate you guys coming in here, man. Thank you much. And yeah, man, welcome to the show, man. What's that? Oh shit, no, we don't want that. We definitely don't want that, man. I thank you guys for coming in here. Where you want to start? I'm gonna start by Go By 9 Wives. Okay, Go By 9 Wives, May 19th. Checks and Balances come out. Extraordinary film. Wow, I just can't wait for y'all responses to that. I can't wait. Oh man, what we 2 months away? 2 months and 10 days away, 70 days away. All right. We'll start with the Charlos, man. Yesterday, we found out Al Heyman and PBC set them up that they're going to fight a guy that doesn't have drug testing. And then today, we find out that there possibly will be a warrant for their arrest. And I'm going to say this because it's very apparent, it's very obvious that they got immaturity issues. They got maturity issues. And if they don't fix their maturity issues when they're rich, they damn sure are not going to be able to fix them when they broke. And I'm not saying that they are going to go broke, but the money's going to be a whole lot different than when you're fighting and when you're not fighting. The check's going to be in different sizes. And it's they need help. They seriously need. I don't think they're gonna do jail time for this at all. I don't think so. I think they have enough money to do what they need to do. But it's little things. You know what I mean? It's little things that just keeps on adding up, keeps on adding up. And I don't think they listen to people. Or I don't know who they listen to, because it's obvious that the team around them is compromised on some level, because man, it's yeah, they're very emotional. Very emotional. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's mental health or immaturity. You know, I don't know. But we sit and we ignore it, and then it's gonna get worse later. You know how they say it get greater later, it get worse later. And I don't have the answers for them, but they really need. Al Heyman needs to do an intervention with them. He really does, because they're fighting once a year. So that means the money done slowed down drastically. They're not getting $5 or $10 million per fight. And if they're not doing, I don't know if I can't speak on their private life in terms of their investments, but what I see publicly, I don't see nothing that's equal to a fight check. And it's gonna be rough on them, man. It's gonna be rough on them, because the people are not gonna appreciate them, and their circle of influence gonna walk away from them. It's They say that money tells the world who you are. When you don't have your money, you tell yourself who you are. And it's getting scary for me now. Not scary for me, but it's like it's beyond, like, okay, they're young, it's cool, but whenever they're faced with adversity, they jump out the window. And I don't think everything deserves a jump out the window. I really don't. Um, but that's how they respond to any type of adversity. They respond like that. You know, from when Jamal knocked uh the fans phone, and then challenging Jared Hurd. Um, um, we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll definitely see, man. Send them well wishes, man. You know, that's I don't like these bad endings. And um I don't like these bad endings. And although it's not like extreme, like they robbing a bank, they beating up, I mean, not, you know, like these glaring type crimes and stuff like that. But it's just like you just keep on you keep on watering the seed, and then it's gonna plant, and then it's gonna plant, and it's gonna bear fruit. And I've never seen them. Uh, I've never seen the Charlos defuse themselves. I've always seen them loud and walk away. I've never seen them say, "You're right, I'm wrong," or "I'm wrong, you're right, I apologize." I've never seen them do that. You know, even when Jermell was apologizing to Deontay Wilder, I got people that'll do life for me, huh? I thought that was backwards. Like you got people that would do life for you. You're a fighter, Jermell. You're a prize fighter that makes a lot of money when he steps into the ring. So I'm not sure if Sam Watson can get to those guys anymore. I think I don't think so. You know, Sam is they probably see Sam as like, you know, whatever by now. But someone got to get a hold of those guys and let them know it's just one moment. It's just one moment. It's not like like defending every moment like your life depends on it is not worthy. It's like the immature. It's like an immature response, and it's been real consistent since I've been covering them. But now they're in a position. But now they're in a position where they're stars now. They wasn't stars. They were budding. They were like potential stars. So people wasn't paying attention to them like every day. But now they're stars in boxing. You know, there's a handful of superstars. They're stars. And so every time they do something, especially in the in terms of media and boxing, they're gonna get covered. Whether they're doing community work or whether they doing asinine stuff like beating up somebody, allegedly, you know. And but I don't see them doing jail time, but I see the problem progressing. And I don't want to make fun of them, you know. I know y'all thought I was gonna come in and make fun of them, but I want to challenge them. I want to challenge them. I want to challenge their circle to do something about this, because every time, 100 out of 100% time, Jermell and Jamal respond one way to adversity. They don't de-escalate nothing. They don't. They don't, and they got to learn how to de-escalate. If they don't learn how to de-escalate, they're gonna go broke because they have extreme spending habits. Extreme jewelry, cars, private jets. You're not making private jet money. Private jet money is when you can do it anytime you want. You can't fly private anytime you want. You know what I mean? But Jermell may be past Derek James, you know, like meaning that he's they're too comfortable amongst each other. And I don't know what it is. And Al Heyman is not really hands-on with him, because if if Al Heyman was hands-on, then Al Heyman is part of the problem, because there's been a lot of issues in PBC. And what I mean by Al Heyman is a part of the problem is you got to put pieces around 250 fighters to be successful. You know, you got to have infrastructure. You know, You got to have like a UFC training facility. You got to have PBC, all access everything, where a fighter can just go to the middle of Montana and just train, have everything full service, or maybe in Vegas, but they don't have that. And I think that's one of the problems, that's what's wrong with PBC, because it's well chronicled. PBC fighters do get in trouble with the law, and it's not just black, it's Mexicans, it's, you know, I don't know if you got too many whites, but you get what I'm saying. I don't want to make this like, oh, it's just the black fighters. No, it's not. Victor Ortiz is not white. It's not black. So it's an infrastructure issue on PBC side, and it's an immaturity level with Jermell Charlo. So I'm challenging the Charlos. I'm going to challenge them the same way I challenge Adrian Broner, and the same way I challenge Tank. You gotta get your shit together, because asking God for a want and He actually gives it to you. I'm not even gonna go that far. Imagining something and you realistically can do it, and you're gonna blow it on some BS. I told you guys I don't go to 7-Eleven at night. I have a 7-Eleven in either direction, walking distance. Well, you know, walking distance, relatively walking distance, right? I don't go at night because I don't want to put myself in a position where someone's gonna do harm to me, or I got to do harm to them. And at night, I'm not fighting at night. It's pointless. Nah. And so I don't put myself in those positions. And it's not that I'm weak, because I know how to de-escalate a situation. But the Charlos got to stop putting themselves in those positions, because they know they can't handle it. And it got to start within, because I remember a year ago, when Jermell disrespected Jamal's wife, and Jamal and his wife laughed, and I was kind of confused. I mean, I could see how Jamal didn't want to embarrass his brother on the live, but how far Jermell has to go, like there's a stepping stone to disrespecting your brother's wife to the world. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you got to start somewhere. It didn't just go from, haha, Jamal, your wife is this. It had to start here, and then it get here, and then it get here, and then it gets to talking about your wife. Because if you talk about a man's wife, that's why most men don't talk about other men's wife and children, because it minimizes your masculinity to the world and yourself. And for many men, there's no ends to that. You know what I mean? There's no ends to that. So you don't want to put yourself in a position where you got to deal with a man giving 100% against you. So you stay out of the way of situations like that. And now we got a situation. Yeah, it is a sign of no respect. And now we got to deal with a situation where law enforcement is involved. I'm gonna tell every black man, every Mexican man, keep the government and the police out of your life. It's just keep it out of your life. All right. And do the best you can, because now you're going to put it in the hands of somebody else who has more power than you. Even if you got to shame yourself in that moment, like, you're gonna feel like you're less than. But if you don't, you're gonna feel like you're around a whole lot of people that they perceive as less than if you don't make the proper decision. So I'm a root for the Charlos, even though I don't have a desire to interview them or be around them or nothing like that. But I genuinely, I know they need help, and and I just got the courage to say it. I don't even know if you call it courage at this point. It's just the truth. They need help, and we got to stop pacifying it. And I root for them because they have kids. Jermell has a beautiful story too. He married his high school sweetheart. They have 5 children. A beautiful story. Beautiful story. I think he should stick with that. You got a beautiful story, beautiful family. You live on an estate. It looks like it's about 10,000 square feet. You got everything in there. You never got to leave your house. Got a beautiful story, man. Don't ruin it, man. Don't ruin it. But let me open these. So hopefully they fix it, man, because the money's drying up. If you go from fighting 3 times a year to 2 times a year to pay-per-view, then they kick you off pay-per-view, and now you're fighting once a year, the money's drying up. So the Charlos gotta mature. And I want them to be successful, because the more successful men we have in this world, the more successful children we will have in this world. And that's just it. And yeah, man, I just don't want what they've prayed for their entire life to go down the tube, man. Because now it's just kind of too much now. It's kind of too much, and for me, it's not funny. It's not funny anymore. For me, it's not at all. I don't. It's not funny to me. I don't want to hoop hunky dory, and that's not cool. Anyway, the phone lines are open. Let me put these. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? 202. We're gonna talk about Jay-Z when Dwan B come in. What's up?
To all my niggas in the pen, here we go again. Ain't nothing separate from my Mac 10. What's up, Fred? Hey, man, shout out to Jermell Charlo, man. You know how I feel about Jermell Charlo. I'm a fan of him taking the risk. I always like fighters who take risks. Fight the best they can in the division. That's what he does. And I'm supporting the Charlos on this one. This is crazy how they slap terrorists. Did you read the full charges he's being charged with?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna stick. I don't think the charges are gonna stick.
It can't. Ain't no fucking way. Any lawyer, I'm not a lawyer, but from my understanding, any lawyer would say this shit is just a simple cash grab. And hopefully that Charlo brother don't ever let the Charlos don't never ever let that guy come back to his house ever again. That's blatantly disrespectful if you doing shit and there's children involved and you're riding around like that. So, yeah. So, but that Jermell Charlo interview, I finally watched the whole thing. Man, that was a classic interview, Fred.
I don't even know if it was an interview.
Huh?
I don't even know. I don't even know if it was an interview.
Well, I get what you say. I know what you meant by that.
It wasn't an interview. Brian Custer didn't. I know Brian Custer probably wanted to go deeper, but Jermell just didn't let him.
He did. He went deeper. He went deep.
No, he probably could have went somewhere else with it, because Brian Custer's a journalist. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
So he could have taken it deeper.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Even deeper. Yeah. I'm glad he didn't, because
why?
He's already been set up once, Fred. Anything like this.
He don't know it though.
It's a coincidence that after the interview, this shit comes up with him being labeled a terrorist. I don't know. That it doesn't make sense.
I thought that, but
I'm right. We found out a lot of shit that wasn't supposed to be true has come true in the last couple of years. A lot of different things in this society. So, but I'm glad he didn't, because as we learn with fighters, when they speak out, they get punished.
Right.
They get consequences, unforeseen and stuff. So we've seen that plenty of times. And fighters in the past have said that when they spoke out for their promoter or a network, whatever, things happen.
Even media members.
Media members, yeah, you're right. Media members too. So they're not exempt. So I'm glad Custer was a professional. He let him talk.
Always
he
a
let that man
professional.
vent. Yeah, he let him vent, because it was clearly, you could tell Charlo had nobody to talk to about this. You could tell he wanted this out, and I think it helped him. I think it helped him a lot, because as the interview was going on, he started to calm down. He started to become more coherent, and he said some things I definitely agreed with. 100%. He said Andrade is a great fighter, a good fighter. I'm glad he said that, instead of Canelo Alvarez with that bullshit. Oh, he's a horrible fighter. Horrible fighter. I'll never fight him because he's a horrible fighter. But yet, Canelo wants to fight Jake Paul. So, Jermell Charlo, it would be a great interview for a lot of different podcasts, because he says what's on his mind. He puts his heart on his sleeve, and he doesn't give a shit. He's unfiltered. That's a great interview. It's unfortunate that he doesn't do interviews unless Al Heyman tells him to.
Right.
It's very unfortunate. I think that would help him, because from what I saw, a lot of people enjoyed it. They actually liked it. And it's unfortunate he's closed himself off from people like you and Black Fight Fan and other people. Because I think that would help his case. That would help his support. That would help his ticket sales and things of that nature. But that's the choice he's made.
Mm-hmm.
But I want some things. I got some things to talk about. So
hurry up, the guest is here.
Let's see. I just want to put this out there for fighters who are listening to this or watching this. I feel like you guys, I shouldn't sign to no promoter or network unless you can get a freedom of fight dates, freedom of an exclusive pay rate that needs to be met every time out, especially if it's against a good, solid opponent. I also think that you should be on a fight-by-fight deal. And I say that again, fighters fight-by-fight deal, exclusive pay rate, and exclusive amount of fights you want per year, and putting that in agreement in your contract. Other than that, you're going to get fucked over. But what do you think about Anthony Joshua and Joe Joyce going at it on Twitter?
It means nothing. Eddie Hearn.
No,
I don't think it means anything.
Well, what do you think about AJ should fight Wilder? That's a viable fight.
He should. He don't have a
Yeah,
fight,
I think
and that would make belts irrelevant.
Exactly. And Fred, it's not talked about like, but have you heard of fighters suing the sanctioning bodies?
Yeah, what they gonna sue them for? They 3%?
No.
That's what it cost them. That's what it cost them to get the lawyer.
Well, next time I talk to you, I'm gonna do some research. There was a fighter years ago who sued, I think, the WBA or the WBC, and they almost went.
Well,
bankrupt.
Austin Trout is suing them, suing a sanctioning body right now.
He's suing the WBO,
mm-hmm.
and he has a good chance to get a good settlement because it was just, from what I know, and it's unfortunate he'll never be in the rankings for the WBO again. But yeah, when I talk to you next time, I'm definitely gonna do some research. And
next time it's gonna be tomorrow.
Or tomorrow? Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna do it tonight because there's a fighter that almost caused one of the sanctioning bodies.
Man, get off the phone, man. We gotta go.
So
appreciate you, man.
Go
change them diapers, man. How old is your little one now?
3.
3?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we've been talking that long. Wow.
Wait a minute, no.
Wow. That puts things in perspective, man. I mean, we talk every night, so it's like, damn. Beautiful.
I got 2 of them for it.
Oh, so
I got 2. So I got one that's about to be 1.
See, this nigga playing me now. See, now you playing me. You know I was talking about the one you changing diapers with, man. See, now you playing me, right? Man, get off the line, man. I'm gone, man. Get out of here.
Hey, shout out to the chat. Hey, fighters, man, hit me out on that shit. What I just said, for
Nigga
real,
tried to
man.
play
We
me,
support
man.
y'all. So I'm out.
Peace, man. Motherfucker tried to play me, man. Without further ado, man, the best podcast on the internet, man. What's up, Dewan B? And he got a dog at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock PST, whatever time he comes on, man, you be dropping gems, dog. Gems on your joint.
I appreciate that, man.
And a musical genius, man.
Man, because like when it comes to our culture, man, I always feel music is one of the easiest ways to teach our culture because it's one of the biggest imprint. And I've always said, even before I got on the internet, we do ourselves a disservice by narrowing things down to hip hop. I've always said hip hop has to reconnect to his granddaddy, that's jazz and blues, granddaddy and grandmama.
Wow.
And
Gotcha.
that jazz and blues, and mama and daddy funk and soul, funk, disco, soul. That's mama and daddy to hip hop, and granddaddy and grandmama is jazz and blues. And it's the same culture repeated all over and over again. But we as a people, we tend to get the brunt of everything bad, the baby mamas, the pimps, the hustlers, the gangsters, but we never talk about what's good. And we contributed so much good that the world now uses. We gotta step up and own it,
Yeah, right. And before we jump into boxing and everything else, it was great. I got a little emotional watching y'all today, so I'm getting goosebumps now. I may even cry because I never had a conversation with my father like that in that comfortable setting. Today,
Oh yeah,
and I was like, damn, I wish I could have had a conversation with my dad like that as a grown man.
I appreciate that. And for those who don't know, Craig Facts is my other podcast that I do. And yeah, me and Craig, we talked to our fathers, and that was just something that Craig came up with last Tuesday after the show. He was like, I'm gonna bring my dad down to the studio. You think your dad would be down? And I just asked my dad because my dad don't like being on camera. That's why I don't tell too many stories about him, because he don't like being up in the front of things. He red hair. You know what I mean? He don't like being recognized.
Right.
And so but I just asked him, will he play a part in this documentary I'm getting ready to put together on music? And he said, yeah. So since I knew he said yeah to that, I figured he might say yeah to this. And so I called him up and he said, yeah. And we talked about the 60s and the 70s from the people who was there and how our society got from where it was in the 60s to where it is now,
Right.
It was just dope to hear it, from the people who was there that on the whole, the whole time.
Yeah, who actually lived it, man. And for those who hadn't seen it, it just premiered today. So you just go to Craig Facts on YouTube and it'll be there. And you guys go live Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? About
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
4:30.
We say 3:30, but we don't never get started till like 4:30.
Yeah.
I don't know why Craig just don't be like, hey man, it's 4:30, but
because it's gonna be 5:30.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. If he say 4:30, it's gonna be 5:30.
Oh man.
So, yeah.
So the hot button is Jermell Charlo and his brother got in some trouble. As now they both charged at not the same charge, but the same crime together. From last September, that they hit a cousin of theirs, and now they got like some level of charges on them. Like beating them up or something like that, being aggressive, stuff like that.
Like, and I'm a big Charlo fan. I was, when he said what he said about gotten Deontay Wilder's live chat when he was in that Flores interview, that kind of put some sour taste in my mouth. And then a few things he said, but outside of that, I've always been a Charlo fan. I was out there when he fought Tony Harrison in Ontario. Yeah. You know what I mean? But they don't get it. Like some of the things that they say to the fans and say about other boxers, like you can tell these are talented brothers, but as far as the game of life, they don't get it, man. And it's sad to see, you know what I mean? Like tone deaf to the situation,
Good word. Tone deaf.
Deaf. They living like it's in the 90s and the 2000s, dovetailing what we're gonna be literally talking about Jay-Z, that whole era, that 95 to 2007 8 era of hip-hop where everything was flash and cash. That was cool. For then, I guess. It was never cool, but it's cool for the times.
Right.
But now, yeah, you got the situation with Sandra Bland, George Floyd. You got Biden in office that's acting like a bigger white supremacist than Trump. You know what I mean? We got these things going on, and you want to have your Instagram you flaunt your jewelry, your cars. Like right now, this is the time where people are really going through some situations, and it ain't really the time for that right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much tone deaf. And that's for a lot of celebrities and people with fame and fortunes, because now people are getting taxed on life with these fucking gas prices, man. Like these are life charges. Like it's a lifeline. It's a lifeline.
It ain't no more money coming down the pipeline. Joe Biden talking about what money he is trying to get to go to Ukrainians that are fighting the war.
Mm.
A country full of Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about giving them money, but not to the people. Joe Biden is the one that we don't have to cut off this oil supply from Russia, but he's saying we support Ukraine. Let's just do it anyway. Like this is what's going on right now, and y'all making it. Yeah, and these athletes that think it's all about them. I'm gonna tell you. This is something I say on my show all the time. Look, the era of the celebrity without substance is over. Those days, mark my words, we in 2022, mark my words. The celebrity of this decade moving forward are going to be the celebrities moving forward are going to be people who can entertain you with whatever talent they have, but they come with a level of substance to them.
Right.
That like you see, I know this happen. People may call me crazy right now for saying it, but they'll watch this video in 3 years and be like, that nigga was right. You just can see the winds changing right now. We ain't accepting things like we used to accept. And that whole I'll be a star and love me just because I'm a good boxer and got a lot of money. You're gonna have to bring the Deontay Wilder is a celebrity of the future.
Right. Yeah, he brought so much to the table, and he was willing just to stand on it. That's what gives him his post today. He's still the top fighter on PBC's roster.
Man, Deontay Wilder, look, if you ever see this brother, you still that man. I don't give a damn how many times you lost. Everybody lose. Yeah. Everybody lose. Deontay Wilder's still a man. He's the man of the people. Mm-hmm. To see, the things that Errol Spence say. Everybody ain't gonna be as vocal as Wilder, but when Errol Spence gets a chance, you know what I mean? De La Hoya, you don't fuck with black fighters. Just be real. You ain't gotta be Malcolm. Everybody ain't gonna be Malcolm X.
Right.
I get that. Just don't be that one that's coming out doing what the Charlos did. When you see a black man has a just cause that he's talking about, don't be that black person jumping in the middle of it.
Right.
Saying what ain't right. Oh, that ain't racism. Man, the Crawford, that goofy shit he was doing back in the day. You know what I mean? Now he's suing for racism. Like, that goofy shit gotta stop. Like, you ain't gotta be Malcolm X. Just shut the fuck up.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. And that Crawford situation, man. Oh no, I was gonna say about Jermell. The irony about that is he did an interview with Brian Custard, and he said, "Oh man, stop whining." And then Deontay Wilder said, "You'll never understand it until it happens." I'm paraphrasing Wilder. You'll never understand it until it happens to you. He gets on, and here's how. And you said the term tone deaf. That's what the Charlos are. Very tone deaf, because in the same interview, at the beginning of the interview, he said, Castano won. We only drug tested once. And then he went to PBC, Al Heyman guys, and says, why we ain't drug testing? And he says, you're supposed to request it. He said, I ain't never requested no drug test. And then he fights Brian Castano, right? Here's the tone deaf part. Later on in the interview, he says, oh, Al Heyman's great. He gets us everything. I'm like, you just got set up in a fight with a guy who didn't have to take no drug testing. Mm-hmm. You see the tone deafness in the whole situation?
Yeah, and I didn't know this when you sometimes you listen to you watching one of your favorite fighters and you see something but you don't want to act like you saw it.
Yeah.
Like when I saw, and I get the Charlos confused, but in the matchup to the rematch for the Tony Harrison fight, and Tony Harrison, I was mad because I thought Charlo obviously won the first fight, I thought it was some BS with the decision, but Tony Harrison won a fan in me in the whole post in that year between fights when they would talk, because Tony Harrison was fast. He was getting them just like and then you would see Charles would just be like, so I'm like, oh, he ain't that good fighter, but he ain't. Tony Harrison was like running circles around him, and I was like, damn. I love them boys though, man. But I still love the Charlos, man. Hopefully they get it right.
Yeah, and that was my opening topic today, because you see the symptoms, like you see, and now it's getting serious now, because when you go from fighting 3 times a year to being on pay-per-view, they kick you off pay-per-view, you fight 2 times a year, now you're fighting once a year. So the money's kind of drying up. You get what I'm saying? Like, so if you were terrible with money in terms of integrity and character, what you gonna be without money? I'm not saying you're not gonna be broke, but the checks are gonna be different when you're not getting $3 million every time you work.
3 fights to 1 fight is just math. You know what I mean? That's just a reduction in lifestyle. That's just what the math says.
Right.
And when you look at, didn't they have like an issue with Jared Hurd at one of these fights recently?
Oh yeah, it was, and Jared Hurd was holding his wife's hand. That's what I didn't like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like Jared Hurd was like really, and it was just, you saw Jared Hurd was really with the shits, and you kind of saw their reaction, and it was just like, why did we even, like, if y'all gonna react like that, why did you even go there? You should have just walked out the other side. Like, you gotta have wisdom, man. Like, when black men with money, y'all targets, bruh.
Right.
Like, we've been targets since day one. When they were lynching they were lynching business owners. They weren't lynching hobos. It's when you're a black man with any kind of profile, you got to walk a certain way, man.
Right.
And if you don't know which way to walk, if you're a young fighter out there or a young person out there that's watching Fred, like I've been watching for the last 5 years on YouTube.
Thank you.
If you one of them people, just pay attention to the people to those who they got. Mike Tyson, Flash and Cash. Go down the list. Floyd Mayweather spent 6 months in jail. Flash and Cash. Dr. John Henry Clark says this all the time. Our greatest historian, Dr. John Henry Clark. He says black people could do anything we want within the system of white supremacy as long as we just chill. The minute you start flashing and dashing and showing everybody, you put a target on your back. Now the system is like, oh, that nigga over there, okay. All right.
Yeah, speaking of John Henry Clark, you got a clothing line.
Yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I'm gonna pick one up because I have intentions on going to Craig Fact soon. So I'm definitely buying one from. That's what I was gonna tell you as well. But talk about your clothing line before we jump in boxing and Jay-Z and everything else.
I call it my Hotep-ish clothing line because I took it because people like black people who like history, they tried to relabel us, oh, y'all just some Hoteps. I'm like, I'm not gonna let y'all disrespect the word like that. I'm gonna own it and I'm gonna claim it. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna just let you disrespect the word, but at the same time, I still eat bacon. So, you know, I'm not all the way with, you know, but I love my people. But you know, but I'm still gonna be me. So it's just a play on words. That's the clothing line. I got a John Henry Clark shirt that says, "Black people don't owe anybody anything but an ass whooping." You know, wear that shirt anytime. And that's a quote from his speech. We have no friends, and wear that every time they come to us saying support the Ukraine and support this and support that. Nigga, I'm supporting my reparations until then. Get the fuck out of my face. I got this shirt, Rebels for the Cause, Nat Turner, Robert Smalls. For those of you who don't know who Robert Smalls was, person that got himself out of slavery, stole a Confederate ship, took it to the Union, went back, got his wife and his homeboys out of slavery, fought for the Union, recruited over, convinced Abraham Lincoln for black people to join the Union, recruited over 5,000 soldiers for the Union, then went back, bought his slave master's house, ran for Congress and won, and ended up living in the slave master's house and was one of the first black people in Congress. Got Denmark Vesey, Bass Reeves, and Dessalines. I got another shirt, Mothers for the Movement, all kind of shit. So go to hotepish.com/shop. Hotepish.com. That's where all the good shit is.
What you like in boxing right now? Coming up, you like Shakur, Valdez?
I like Shakur, man. Man, Shakur, just every time he fights, he shows us something.
Right.
Even the last fight, even when it looked as if he didn't fight his best fight, I see the grit.
Yeah.
Because everybody got that fight that they didn't look that good. You know what I mean? Everybody got that fight where they was most champions. Those of us who grew up on USA Today, USA Boxing on Channel 8 back in the 90s, we saw those random fights where Shane Mosley didn't look his best, you know what I mean, against a random opponent. You know what I mean? We saw those nights when Bernard Hopkins looked mediocre this night. But then the minute you get to them, but we look back and remember them doing these great things. But everybody, really except for Roy Jones, had a bad night. You know? So, man, I like him. You know, I like what Spence is doing, staying true to his word, cleaning out his division, then going, as long as he fights Crawford next. I see that. I don't see it as him running from Boots. Because he said he said this plan back in 2016 before we knew who Boots was. So the people that act like Spence is running from him, they're being disingenuous because he hasn't changed his word in 6 years.
Right.
And if he didn't have a damn near fatal accident, we should be thanking God that the man is living. You know what I mean? After that accident, if not for that accident, I think he would have dusted off Crawford a year ago and be up at 154 now. I think, Canelo is the biggest cap in boxing.
Really? You think Canelo's a cap in boxing?
Yeah, like, man, I was a big Canelo fan. I went to go see him back before he fought Floyd when he's at the Anaheim. The
yeah.
That fight. It was like 2012. Something.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I was at that fight. That's how much I've been fucking with Canelo. But I know, look, you don't just look at the boxer. You look at the whole environment. You look at who they're fighting. You judge the best. You judge the best when they play the best. And when I see you jumping around, you don't want to fight Benavidez until his title gets vacated. You know what I mean? It's like the whole fight Benavidez or Charlo thing has become almost like a slogan over the last 5 years. Mm-hmm. And you're fighting cats like Avadi Yildirim, and
that was bullshit.
Yeah, like I'm like, yeah, I think Canelo's one of the, I don't like what he's doing, but I love Boots. I love what he's doing. Mm-hmm. I think that he can beat I think he can beat anyone at 147 right now. I think Spence would beat him in a fight, but I'm not saying that Boots can't, So I'm loving boxing right now. I'm not want to really get into too much of what's going on wrong, because outside of you and the other cats in the Lions Den, a few other cats, I don't really like when I watch boxing. I DVR and fast forward right to the fight. I don't get into the hoopla and all that shit. I like to watch the sweet science,
Do you think Wilder should retire or come back?
I think Wilder should follow his heart. Mm-hmm. Wilder gave us 10 defenses.
That's what I said.
Of the WBC.
Right.
He fought the best that will fight him. He would have fought Joshua if Joshua wasn't being a weirdo. Right. The people that he didn't fight, he would have fought had they not been weird. Now that they see a vulnerability in him, they want to jump in. So I look at it like this. If Wilder can make a lot of money and he feels like fighting, do it. Right. If you don't feel it and don't have the passion, leave and walk off into the sunset, because those of us who appreciate Wilder for what he did, we're going to always appreciate him. Absolutely. And the rest of them niggas, they won't get it. They don't get it. Everything they said they won in the fighter, we had in Wilder, and and they didn't say nothing but, why did he have to walk down the ring? I was at Staples Center when he fought Fury for the first time. When he walked out in that mask, I don't know how it looked on TV, but in the arena, that nigga looked like Mansa Musa walking down that ring.
Yeah, he did.
Felt good. He gave us that, but you niggas is talking about, well, his punches don't look pretty. These niggas don't deserve a good Deontay Wilder.
Right. And speaking of John Henry Clark, he said that. Henry Clark, he says, what did y'all do with the first Malcolm? Y'all don't deserve a second one. You know what I mean?
We don't deserve like because the whole point. The point of boxing is to win the match.
Right.
They'd be like, well, his punches don't look a certain way. I'd be like, well, Anthony Joshua got the prettiest punches. He still got his ass knocked out by a nigga fatter than me. So it don't matter how Reggie Miller had the ugliest jump shot ever, but he retired with the most 3-pointers ever. First of all, why are grown ass men so concerned about looks? As men, we should be concerned with effectiveness. Does it work? And what Deontay Wilder did worked. But niggas was into aesthetic shit and missed the whole experience. So that's why I say Deontay Wilder, those of us who understood what he did, those of us who felt and got the gravity about how important he was, he gave us what we need. So he got to please himself.
Yeah, facts. I couldn't agree with you more. And Jay-Z, man, I thoroughly enjoyed that show. Yesterday?
Yeah,
yesterday. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that show. What's your take on Jay-Z?
Jay-Z is a Judas goat.
Wow. That should be a fucking shirt.
I think I'm going to make that into a shirt because for those of you who don't know what a Judas goat is, that's when the farmer gets a goat or gets a sheep, gets a calf, get whatever he's herding, and he fattens it up, gives it priority, gives it first in line access, you know what I mean? Treats it better than the rest of the sheep, the rest of the goats, and the rest of the flock see that goat get treated better, so they automatically assume there's that goat just must be better. Fattens it up. And then when it's time for slaughter, what the sheep herder does is sends that Judas goat up into the slaughterhouse first. What are the rest of the sheep going to do that thought that sheep was the best? They're going to follow right along into the slaughterhouse. That's who Jay-Z is. Jay-Z, and I know I offend a lot of feelings, but I'm not one to really care about how men feel. Like women, I sort of walk around, be a little nicer. But men, we shouldn't have emotional connection to any athlete like that. We should like them for what we like them for, get whatever we get out of them that makes us feel good, and get back to being men, get back to building. We shouldn't have emotional connections to these cats. So if I hurt your feelings over someone, don't come in my inbox because I do not give a fuck.
You don't either.
And so I just want to make that very clear. I look at Jay-Z and LeBron James. These guys are the Al Sharptons and Jesse Jacksons of our generation. Because baby boomers follow preachers. Millennials, Gen X don't really fuck with preachers like that. But we do fuck with entertainment. And black men, especially over the last 30, 40 years, have not shown responsibility when it comes to our consumption of entertainment, especially sports. We tend to live vicariously through these people. We tend to make them the men that weren't in our lives and replace them with these entertainers that may dribble a ball a certain way or rap a certain line and replace them with that. Jay-Z's whole career, you can go back and listen to his interview with Bill Maher. Back, I think it was 2009. Bill Maher asked him, why you talk about all these things that your listeners can't afford to do? Like, what's the connection? And I'm paraphrasing, this one the exact words, but Jay-Z basically said, my song gives them an experience. They get to live through me during one of my songs. And he knows that. And that's why he said on one of his old raps, I could rap like Common Sense, but that ain't gonna make me no sense. He know you niggas don't want that real shit. Flashing cash. And what Jay-Z did, when you listen to his era of music, I always call that post-Tupac, pre-Kendrick era of hip-hop. We're talking 97. It was still real niggas around in 97, 98, but it's really started in 96, 97 through about 2008. I call that the fuckboy era of hip-hop because we did nothing but push nothing but fuckboy narratives, mistreat women, and spend your money on bullshit. It was all about spending money on bullshit. Bad Boy, Money Ain't a Thing, Jay-Z, Cash Money Down South. It was all about, I call it the bling era. When you see my music family tree, I have that entitled the bling era. The era that was all about spending money as fast as you get it. Listen to Jay-Z's 30's a New 20 song. His definition of maturity is a better car, buying a better car, having a woman, a better looking woman that's going to make other niggas jealous. That ain't maturity. You just a grown ass boy. You compare that version versus Andre 3000's version. When Andre 3000, when he mixed that same song up and started talking about investments and things on grown ass men levels. Jay-Z is someone that the music industry elevated, made a Judas Goat. He rapped a whole bunch of lines, and I don't even get into the womanizing. I don't get into the gangster stuff because that's cliche. We don't look at as a people how much hip-hop made us spend our money on bullshit in the 2000s. I know. I worked at the bank, Washington Mutual Bank, Manchester and Locust, Inglewood.
Oh, yeah.
I worked there. I paid my own way through college cash working at that bank.
Heard the stories on you. Yeah.
So my college degree, y'all see that shit is paid for cash through working at a bank. So I got to see the shit up front. I got to see what we were spending our money on when we owned the hood. When we owned the hood, when houses were a couple $100,000 in Inglewood and then down south 20, 30 grand, 70 grand, what was we doing? Listening to Jay-Z. I'm in Central Pay. I got the bottles. I was this, and that's what we was living. Meanwhile, these companies are buying up houses one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. Why am I on Jay-Z so hard? Because with great leadership comes great responsibility. And when we look at through the annals of Black American music, when I take you back to all of our greats, every single one, when it came time to lay it on the line for the people, they chose the people over the fame and the money. Billie Holiday, Strange Fruit, 1937. Lynches were going on like a motherfucker here in America. Billie Holiday couldn't perform in New York for 5 years because she sung that song about the lynchings down south. She put it on the line for us. Same thing, excuse me, same thing with Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder, at the height of his career, sued Motown to come up with Fulfilling This First Finality, where he's talking about Big Brother and what's going on in America. James Brown, at the height of his career, he had just in 1963 sold 3 million albums of James Brown live at the Apollo. To sell 3 million live albums in the 60s? Nigga. He went, at the height of his career, he came out with I'm Black and I'm Proud. Funky President. People, we got to get over before we go under. We got to build the factory and own the job. James Brown, at the height of his career. Michael Jackson, at the height of his career, released History, where he talked about, where he said, all I want to say is that they don't really care about us. You know what I mean? James Brown, Michael Jackson they basically, you go back and listen to History, they killed Michael Jackson over that History album. And I don't mean no fake ass 444 shit. No, I mean direct. No, Jew me, sue me, everybody. Those are words he used. You know what I mean? Stranger. We listen to all those songs on the album. Going back to Bad album. You know, I'm starting with The Man in the Mirror, a song of self-sacrifice for the greater good. So if you're going to be at the top of Black music, Aretha Franklin, respect. You read, for those of us who study Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, but if you really study Martin, you really see him and Malcolm are right there. But when you study Martin always talks about how Aretha's music and soul music is what gave him the energy to work 365 days a year. My dad, on the interview we was talking about earlier, they talked about how like the music of the day is what really set their mind straight. So if you the GOAT, if you at the top, but the top meant telling Black people to spend every dime we had back in the early 2000s when credit was easy, prime rate was at 3.5%. You can get a home loan, a 30-year fix for 4%. And you told us in your music that you have to gain, but you chose not to. You chose to sacrifice us for your greater good. For you, I don't have respect for you. I know I said a lot, but like with Jay-Z, I'm like, it's just one of those things where, and I'm not saying he isn't great. He is great. He's great at what he does. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying he hasn't given the sacrifice that the greats, that 100% of black greats gave before him. I can go to Max Roach, Count Basie, Dizzy Gillespie, and tell you what they did for the greater good of black society.
Right. Yeah. And what brought it all in was how he risked it all so Snoop Dogg can wear gangster clothes. I thought black people should have and I had the nerve. I said, I shouldn't have read the comment section. Every comment I'm getting so disconnected to black people. Like, I'm done with this shit. I'm moving to the mountains. I'm done. Because like, that's the people I walk by every day. 9 out of 10 of the comments is like, yes, way to go. Speak up. That's the right thing to do. But I'm like, he risked it so Snoop Dogg can wear a bandana.
And what did he risk? Because when he first got in, he said, first of all, he said we're past kneeling.
Right.
And all the Jay-Z-ites were saying, this is a chess move. This is a chess move. I'm like, first of all, you don't understand basic power dynamics. White men don't hire black people to teach them to teach them anything. The only time white men that are wealthy, and y'all say Jay-Z's a billionaire, okay, these cats that own these football teams, their wealth fluctuates Jay-Z's whole net value by times 5, 3 and 4 times within a day. They'll fluctuate 4 or 5 billion. These cats is worth 30, 40, 50 billion dollars, some of these cats.
Right.
Jay-Z ain't got no money compared to them. He's powerless compared to them. I told people back then, Jay-Z was hired to bring niggas back to football. Black people were on cold for the most part for 2016, but then people started trickling in, but they wanted really black people to really buy all the way in. So who else to bring in other than this Judas goat we've been artificially inflating and putting over the top of everyone else for the last 20 years? Who better? Because we all, like I said, we always know Jay-Z was around. Jay-Z's older than Nas. He was around in 93 when the OGs was around, when Tupac was around, when Cube was still on top, before the record industry got infiltrated by the corporations, before rap got infiltrated. He wasn't nothing. He was like, okay, he was regular. But in 1996, they signed that Telecommunications Act. Sony Records got in bed with Clear Channel, and you had a direct distribution line from record label to basically one of the 4 people who own all the radio stations.
Yep.
And who did they push? They pushed Jay-Z in that flash and cash rap. What got sacrificed? R&B. It's the reason why Next was the last R&B doo-wop group. It's the reason why you don't have, back in the 90s, you'd have a hip-hop song followed by some R&B, followed by some other type rap. They constricted, those of us who were around back in the 90s remember X-Clan, Digital Underground, all them groups, Far Side, none of them released a bad album. But before the internet got cracking, like when the late 90s came, we was all like, hey, whatever happened to, you just saw all these acts just fall off out of nowhere. And none of them put out a bad album. And then all of a sudden you hear Jay-Z on every goddamn song. You should, like, black people got to know, anytime they're overly praising a black person, it's something fishy in the water. And so when we fast forward to the Super Bowl, Jay-Z was hired for what? To bring entertainment for you niggas. So what was the sacrifice? Not Brian Flores. Brian Flores is going through a racism lawsuit. And this is a big time lawsuit because the NFL went to hire Loretta Lynch, a former attorney general. If this wasn't a big thing, they wouldn't go to them kind of lengths to hire the one and only one of two black women ever attorney generals. That's because it's something to this case and you want to put out a good face. But Jay-Z, you ain't got nothing to say about that. Jay-Z, you excuse me, I don't watch football anymore, so I don't know it the way I used to. But I do know that it ain't that many black coaches. I do know that following that Deshaun Watson situation, you mean tell me all these women are represented by the same lawyer who's neighbors with the owner, who's mad at this player for demanding more money? You don't really see what's going on here. All these things going on, and Jay-Z ain't got nothing to say, but you gonna fall on the sword to crip walk? And I love crip walking. I ain't tripping. In the right time and place. But, nigga, what? Is that the sacrifice? Is that what we are, black people?
Right. I just thought it was just a whole debacle. You paid to be on the platform. Snoop Dogg says crip, and Jay-Z's gonna risk everything so Snoop can do what he wants to do.
It's bruh. Hey, Fred, don't get discouraged, man. That shit's silly.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my people, and I love black people, but right now we're at a point to where too many of us men, I'm talking to the men here. I can't talk to the women because I ain't no woman, but I'm talking to the fellas. We on some bullshit when it comes to this sports right now. And I say that as a former basketball coach. I say that as someone who's been working with kids here in South Central LA since 1995, nigga. I started as a 14-year-old working at King Drew Medical Center in Watts as a tutor. I worked at this agency named Hathaway Sycamores for like 10 years, servicing South Central LA. I worked on my own company for well over 7 years. I've always been on the streets here in South Central. And I was the biggest sports fan. When it came to sports, when it came to all that stuff, I was like everybody else.
Right.
But I had to, after having so many black kids ask me questions that I couldn't give clear answers to, I had to look at myself in the mirror, because I was a person that can quote anything sports related.
Yeah.
Like, especially basketball.
Right.
You tell me the year, I'll tell you who won a championship. 92 Bulls, 97 Bulls, 95 Rockets, 03 Spurs, 02 Lakers. I go that line. 07 Spurs, 08 Celtics, 09 Lakers. I mean, I'm like, I had to ask myself, if my memory is that good for sports, stats, but when these kids ask me, what opportunities am I gonna have when I'm in school, or I look at them in school and I see black boys falling victim to the IEP, that's a weird. I'm like, I gotta use my brain in a different way. That's some self-checking I had to go to. I got pictures of me being courtside at All-Star weekends, year in and year out, at every party, Grammy party, Oscar party. But what good is all this shit if I can't get this little black kids I say I'm working with something that's going to help them move forward? We don't know. Black boys, for those of you, a lot of people watching this probably went through this shit. The IEP system. They getting black kids first, second grade. All he do is run around. Oh, we can't control him. We need to send him off to an agency. The agency like, oh yeah, he's oppositional defiant. He's ADHD. And then, oh yeah, we need to put him on medicine. Oh, now he wants to sit down in class? Oh, we get him an IEP. It shows he's testing fine, but we're going to put him in under OHI in California. That's called other health impairments, which basically means I'm white and I say so. This little nigga belong in special ed. Now he's in special ed. And in special ed, he's getting these work packets. He's in there with next to children with true autism who really do need to be in there. And he has a fully functional brain, but because this teacher couldn't handle him, he's in special education, getting pushed to the side, passed through, and then being released with a certificate of completion, not even a high school diploma, in these non-public schools. And this is where they send in our best and brightest black boys. They don't, and when you go to these non-public schools, they got these posters up, UCLA, USC. This little nigga don't know how to tell the time. What the fuck you telling him about UCLA for? But he might be a great mechanic, and he'll make a lot of fucking money doing it. He might be a great plumber, electrician, and they don't teach our kids none of that shit. They put them in these special ed programs, push them off to the side, treat them like shit, and all the men can do is talk about who's the GOAT?
That's funny because I had the same conversation with myself. The very same conversation as it pertains to that. Like, I'm not having a conversation about Michael Jordan and LeBron. You know what I mean? Like, if I did, man, I gotta get deeper. I gotta build my lexicon, you know? And I've been doing better at that. Do you think black people have a messiah complex?
Yes. We've been conditioned to look for a savior in someone out of ourselves, not knowing that we are this messiah. You, me, anyone watching, you're your own messiah. You save yourself. If the airplane is going down, you put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you go saving somebody else. Black people have gotten extremely lazy. We've had a blessing and a curse. We've had so many greats, from Frederick Douglass to Harriet Tubman to Noble Drew Ali, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Stokely Carmichael. Go down the list. We've had so many. We've gotten to the point where it's like, we'll get somebody else that'll do it for us. Yeah, we've gotten to that point. When the fact is, those people all came to show us what's inside of each and every one of us.
Right.
They are a reflection of you, Fred. They're a reflection of my ashy ass. They're a reflection of everybody out here listening. You got all of those components within you. You just got to exercise it. You got to do it. Stop being off. Niggas is into superficial, fancy shit. Shit that look good. Shiny shit. You know what I mean? People who sound good. Then when you do get a leader, oh, he's fat. Oh, he too tall. Oh, he's too abrasive. He talks too harshly. He don't have why don't he have a wife? And then you get to judging them. That's why I end all of my shows with, there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those who are willing to listen. The key component is for those who are willing. If you ain't willing, you're going to spend all day looking for a messiah. Then when you get that nigga, you're going, he don't punch hard enough. Oh, his punches are too ugly. Oh, he doesn't smile. You niggas are so full of shit. That's the problem. When people get to the point to where they want to be the solution that they seek, which is what Michael Jackson told us in Man in the Mirror. If you want to change the world, take a look at yourself and make that change. That's some true shit. You want to change the world around you, you got to start with yourself. But people don't want to do that.
No, it does. It's too combustive. No, definitely not. Do you think that I'm gonna tell you where I lost a lot of respect for LeBron James, not as a basketball player, but just his mission statement. When that Milwaukee situation exploded, and they had a chance to shut down the NBA, and he didn't. And then the next day, Nike had shirts and all that stuff around. I said, Nike runs this damn thing. You know, he had a chance to be special. He had a chance to be in the history books forever. You know, and
he
same
did
thing with Chris Paul.
I started to see through him with Tamir Rice when he had to wait to be told what to be, what to say. You know what I mean? When he had to wait for his publicist to tell him it's okay to speak for Tamir Rice. But that right there.
I got to research that. I missed that one.
When Tamir Rice got shot in Ohio, he's the boy from Ohio.
Yeah.
He didn't have none of things happen, blah, 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 blah. And then once black people kept the momentum going up, he went back and said something about Tamir Rice. But when they asked initially, he skated around that like he skated around taking the last shot in an important game, So I said, if for you bronzexuals who don't come after me, I said important game, not some all-star game, nigga. I said important game. But what happened with the NBA, that was a travesty. I always say, look at what this is why I keep faith in black people and our strength. Because when the shutdown happened, we only needed 6 weeks of no sport to shut this country down. Sports shut down the end of March, middle of March. By the time we get to the middle of May, 2 months, a little less, it's on and cracking. We had the world listening to what we had to say. We were changing the world. And that shows you how much of a distraction sports is. When we didn't have no sports, we took to the streets and the politicians, listen, now you have a reparations task force happening in California. I was in on that panel meeting last week. They trying to throw some bullshit in there, but people like me in these meetings like, nah, that ain't happening. If y'all gonna do this shit, y'all gonna do it right. But none of this stuff happened if we don't take to the streets the way we did back then. And then what happened? Oh, we have a chance sports may come back. And then LeBron come, man, yeah. I'm gonna want that fake ass ring out that bubble. So we're gonna have to go ahead and get this. Steph Curry injured, Durant injured, Kawhi Leonard injured. All the niggas that can stop me are hurt. So we're gonna have to go and get this shit cracking.
Exactly. Exactly right.
All the niggas that can stop you are hurt. Oh yeah, let's play now. I don't respect it, because ever since the NBA came back, black men are back arguing over this bullshit, and collectively we're not speaking on how to get out of the situation. It's like we accept our condition and we don't want to talk constructively. And niggas will talk. They'll turn on some shit and argue. Cats will argue. And cats will talk about how we can't get what we want. They will argue about that too. But when it comes time to sit down and be constructive about what you're going to do, what I'm going to do, people don't want to have that conversation. It's too easy to talk about top 5.
Oh, definitely. And the vast difference between him and Kyrie, and now Kyrie's words over the years are reigning true as it pertains to LeBron, and as they called him different back then. Now the tides are moving in his favor now.
I fuck with Kyrie, man. I remember when he was a rookie, I had a player who I knew, I'm not going to mention any names, but he played for the Cavs back then. And I remember Kyrie just, even back then, being his own man. And that's another reason why I have a certain point of view about LeBron. I remember being in Cleveland that year after LeBron left, and you just hear the stories from the remaining coaching staff, the people who used to mop the floors. You hear the stories about what would go on. They'd be like, oh, what they telling me on ESPN is a lie? So, but I'm not gonna get all the way into that. I got to see though, Kyrie was his own man back then. I remember seeing this one player who I'm not gonna name drop his bags, be like, hey, Rook, get my bags. Because Kyrie was a rookie back then. Kyrie was like, I play more minutes than you. Get your own bags, and kept walking. And then Tristan Thompson, goofy ass, ran behind. I'll get the bags, on some rookie. But when I saw Kyrie do that with my own eyes, I was like, oh, this dude's his own man. He has a father. What happened last year in the playoffs before he hurt his ankle? When he hit that big shot, he went and hugged his dad.
Yep.
The system have an issue with men with dads. You know what I mean? They don't want to see that. You know what I mean? The system people miss it with Kyrie. Kyrie's always said things. Same with Kobe. They missed it with Kobe.
Yeah.
Late Kobe. I ain't talking about.
No. The last 4 years of Kobe, he was a little different. He was a little different.
Started with the lockout.
Okay.
If people go back and listen to Kobe talk during the lockout. He said when they were getting on Kobe's case about signing that contract, he said, "Look, the owners created the lockout. The players didn't ask for this." He said if the owners didn't want to pay the players, all they have to do is not offer the contract. He said, but they're locking out their janitors, people, maintenance people at these arenas that are going without work, so they can constrict themselves from paying more money when all they have to do is not offer the contract. He was like, the owners are doing this because they're trying to cut out the amount of money that they pay and pass it along to us. So the players need to come together and sit out. He said, Kobe's like, I'm prepared to sit out as long as possible. I want to play, but this ain't right. They played that shit one time and then went to demonizing. Anytime the media is demonizing a player, you might want to look what they did with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was their guy up until he hurt himself that first time in Oklahoma. He hurt himself real bad and missed the playoffs. And then he came back I think it was the 2014 season or the 2015 season, one of those two seasons. And he said, I've given you guys every interview. I've been accommodating, and you still wrote that trash about me in the paper when I got hurt. And that's when Kevin Durant said, I'm going to stop talking to y'all. And ever since he stopped talking to the media, he's been public enemy number one.
Right.
James Harden, he's never made a public stance. He's just an ugly nigga from LA that don't say nothing. He doesn't fit the mold. So this man is just past Reggie Miller for the third most three-pointers of all time in 464 less games. But all you can say is he dribbles too much. The NBA has this one guy, LeBron, secondary Steph. And if you're a Black American after that, they'll do nothing but shit on them men. Shit. Now, if you Djokovic, we ain't gonna talk about your defense. You still get MVP. We ain't gonna say you don't play defense, because now if you're Tracy McGrady, the year you average 34 points a game, we can't consider him MVP because he doesn't play defense. Steve Nash averaged 19. We're not gonna look at defense, 2 MVPs. It's super political, and all they do is use sports to shit on Black men. I don't know how niggas still watch SportsCenter. I stopped watching that shit 10 years ago. All they do, outside of that chosen 1 or 2, is shit on Black men. And have Black men arguing over these physical gods. These is the gods, man. Physically, they all got something we can appreciate and love. But we arguing over the gods? The physical greats?
Right.
And shitting on him because he don't make me feel as warm on the inside as LeBron does? Man, you niggas is weird. Them niggas is weird. Don't ever feel crazy about being seen weird by a weird nigga.
Right. You want to take some beam-ins? They beaming in for you.
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. Cool. Thank you. Go ahead, D. What's up, D?
Hey, man, too blessed to be stressed and highly favored. What's good?
Great.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm listening to the brother, and also I'm saying something in the chat as well. Let me address that real quick. I'm not gonna call the brother name. He was like, I guess when y'all was talking about Deontay Wilder, he was like, we got it twisted. Deontay Wilder's, I guess, not a god. It's just entertainment. Y'all must have forgot it's entertainment. And then, listen, for me, I'm gonna speak for me, because I don't want what I be coming on this show to be taken out of context. I'm not looking for God, and God is not lost where I got to find him. And I don't like to hear people say, I found God. How can you find God? And I'm not looking for a Messiah. Listen, you got people who say where I'm gonna go and create history. I'm gonna make history. Well, for me, we are history. And everything happens divinely. Every person is necessary. And if the brother said it's just entertainment, well, I guess he really wouldn't like Muhammad Ali, because he used his platform for the greater good of his people. He didn't just settle just for the gloves. He spoke up and did what he could for his people.
Yeah, that's true. I see it as a little bit of both. You know what I mean? On one hand, it is just entertainment. On the other hand, since you're spending time watching it, you might as well get what you can get up out of it, you know?
Right.
And if it's substance there, extract the substance up out of it. But at the same time, you know, don't jump all the way over the ship and, you know, treat these people as your godfather. You know, it's a line.
Right.
But, you know, it's a line there.
Right.
But it is entertainment. At the end of the day, we should see it as just entertainment on one level. But one thing about life, another reason why we have so many arguments is it's the word paradox. Most things are paradox. They're both and. I'm right and you right. It depends on what level we speaking on.
Yeah, both things can be true. Yeah, that's always said when I be disagreeing. I said both of us can be right.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah. Jason, what's up, Jason? You on mute? Yeah.
What up, Fred? My fault. I got this basketball game. Well, my fault. But yeah, I was saying they use sports, in my opinion, for like a distraction from what's really going on in the world, as far as like what laws is being passed and shit like that. Like, because if you see the black community, they always worried about what TV show come on next, what's going on in Power, what's going on in the NBA, instead of what's really going on in the world. If you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then, for instance, like you said something like they use sports to shit on black people. Well, they use that to distract us too, because the black people that they shit on be right along working with them. If you get what I'm saying. Like, they still doing the shit behind the scenes that we don't know about, that's really shitting on us. So that's why I don't pay sports no mind. You feel what I'm saying? I just look at this shit for entertainment. Like you said it is. I take it for what it is, like, because I mean, I stopped watching wrestling when it was fake, because that was the first sport that caught my surprise when I realized that shit was fake. So I mean, I stopped watching that, but like I can't stop watching basketball and shit like that, because I do need entertainment in my life. You feel me? A little excitement and shit like that. But I just was stopping by saying they use sports for a distraction. And if people don't see that, then they're gonna forever take your money. And they're gonna forever, I mean, I don't know, you just gonna be blind on the real shit that's going on in the world if you don't see this. So I mean, you just gotta take shit for what you take it for, man. I take this shit for fun. You feel me? If I go to a game, it's for fun. Even though I know this shit got rigging to it, you feel me? So I mean, this is just the world we live in, man.
That's some real talk. And I think the way you take it, that's the way. If you know it's a distraction, then you're not gonna be one of the people being distracted. Because everybody needs some fuck off time. We all need some goofball time. Do some relax our mind type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I'm with basketball. When I watch basketball, I'll mute that shit and listen to music while I'm watching. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. I could do the same. I do the same thing sometimes.
Right.
Especially boxing, especially if it's a ESPN boxing match. You niggas don't even report them. They don't even be like left foot to the body, right jab to the face. The whole fight. Oh, Lomachenko. Oh, he's just the best. Oh, oh my God.
And then you seen how they said Loma and them going to war and shit. You know damn well them boys not on the front line, man.
Nigga.
Them boys not on the front line, man. If I'm worth the mill, I'm not going on the front line, man. Keep it real though, Fred.
No, yeah.
That shit a publicity stunt, man.
Give people hope. Man, they feel like they broke.
they giving me vibes that they gonna start drafting motherfuckers, man. That's the vibes they giving me. Fuck you mean they on the front line? But man, that's all I gotta say, Fred. I was talking some bullshit. That's all I gotta say.
Appreciate you. Deacon wanted to come back in. I guess he fell off. Yeah, get out of here. All right, peace. What's up, Dick?
Yeah, man. My phone, boy, I gotta get a new phone. This phone is not 30 days old. I gotta get a new one. It's got viruses, bro.
He got COVID.
It's got COVID. No, man. And again, also, I'm gonna speak on the Deontay Wilder situation about what I said. I said if it is so for him not just to step out on the platform that he built, it has to be in him to continue what he built, right? And if he does that, I said his people will await him. I'm not saying he's sitting home weeping or feeling bad for himself. No, I just want him to know that your people still love you. You got knuckleheads out there that's gonna try to degrade the man, and you got people who do, because like what really pissed me off, you had black celebs when he lost, making videos, joking and cracking jokes. I didn't find none of that funny. You still have a slough of his people who love him, who supports him. And like I said, there are the young kids who will see him and want to do something other than kill each other, selling dope. He can give them that type of hope, right? He has a voice. He has a platform where he can use that to elevate his people and not tear them down. Some people get a platform and go to this brother here point, Jay-Z. What did he do with his platform? He put the gear in reverse on purpose, by design, by the check. He was paid to do this. He was paid to do this. And that's why when I sent out the video today about Scarface talking about how things done got reversed as it pertains to the entertainment business. These kids out here now, they talking about stuff that don't even make sense in these raps. It's dumbing down our public. There's no elevation to the consciousness. Nothing. So I believe we are necessary when we're doing the right thing. We are very necessary. We are history. We don't have to create or make history. We are history. What you going to do with it is the point. Let me ask my brother something, Fred. I'm gonna try something to you, brother, and you give me a truthful answer. Don't just give me a truthful answer straight up. If you see an old man on the corner that you see all the time, you know he drinks, he's a drunk, he even falls to sleep sometimes, he gets so drunk. And I ask you, for the first time I come on your block, you know him all the time. I say, brother, who is that man and what is he? What do you see when you see him? What would you tell me in response? I'm asking you, what do you see in this man? What do you see? What would you say?
I see the God in him.
There it is, man. God, what? You sharp, bro. See, most people who don't know the answer will tell me they'll see a bum. The answer is, I see God.
I see God. We can't identify two mistakes we can't make. We should never identify ourselves by our problems nor other people.
That's right.
That's what most people do. They identify people by whatever you perceive their shortcoming is. And the sad part, what the part that's heinous is, we do it to ourselves. And when you do it to yourselves, you can't live the best life you can live if you only see yourself for your flaws.
Right. That's right. Hey, I just wanted to chime in, man, and also before I go, I'm gonna say this one more time, and I mean it. Tyson Fury should not be Deontay Wilder's last fight. I would care if he fight Joe Blow. Don't let this guy be the one that say he retired you, brother. That's all I want to say. Peace and love, brother. I appreciate the conversation y'all having, man.
Yes, sir.
It's great, Doug. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
It's all
Peace.
up.
Yeah, take that Canelo right. Just get an easy fight. Just go get somebody that's just gonna put
the year, Joe. What do you think? See, if you have a private conversation with me, then I'm like, oh, Canelo's a drug cheat. I'll say it all day. But the business of boxing respects him. So my fight has no weight. I would be in front line and Canelo's a cheat. But if Eddie Hearn's offering him $100 million, Al Heyman's offering him $100 million, and like if anybody else had the money, they probably would too. So it's like I ain't got no fight. So what's up, Kyle?
What's going on? What's going on, fellas?
What's up?
You ain't got nothing to say? Oh, you ain't got nothing to say? You ain't got nothing to say?
Man, I'm listening, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's hard to come after Deacon. You know, I feel like I gotta preach. You know, when I come after him, I feel like I gotta say, some words of wisdom. You know.
What's the cornerstone? Is it the church? Is it manhood? What's the cornerstone? Is it a combination of both, or?
I think it's moving. I think it was the church. It's not the church anymore, but we're not totally out of it yet. I think it's moving. The cornerstone that they would like it to be is the entertainment industry. That's kind of
I know it.
In the cornerstone.
I know it.
It's the cornerstone for the baby boomer crowd of the church. For our generation, it's the entertainment industry.
Facts.
But it's shifting, but it ain't shifted based on some of the comments that you get from just saying some real shit about a fucking sport. Some of these things, the emotional connection. Like, I get arguing, I get going. It's good to have a debate every now and again. I ain't tripping on that. We all need some fuck off time. I ain't tripping, but it's the energy and the passion brothers have behind it. But then when you talk about other things that mean something, it's either they ain't got no words or the words be like, yeah, that's cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Sports, because see, sports, it has been passed down from generation to generation, embedded and instilled. Like, sports have been instilled more and more aggressively than any religion ever. Like, your pops, he might not have went to church, but you was gonna sit next to him. Y'all was gonna watch that football game together. So that's where it come from. Like, that's, man, like when I think about the 49ers, I got the 49ers tatted on me. I think about my dad, I got a tattoo, me and my pops. It say, train up a child in the way they should go, and when they get older, they won't depart from it. I'm telling you, I'm a Niner fanatic. It's fair to tell you, like, I got Niner everything. You know what I'm saying? That's because me and my pops, that was a time that I knew we was gonna have together. I knew if that motherfucker was out partying anytime else, I knew Sunday morning we was gonna go to church and we was gonna watch the Niner game after that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it be. It's so much given to that sport. It all depends. Fred is like a baseball guy. He don't even really like baseball, but he's so connected to baseball because of his grandfather, right? So whenever he sees the Yankees, he's like, my grandpa, my grandpa, my grandpa. So that's what it be for the most part. I think that's why sports is so important to men, because it's been passed down to generations. It's like a manly thing. We played sports growing up. You know what I'm saying? Our fathers played sports for the most part growing up. So we kind of just, it's in us. It's like a religion damn near. If you think about it, think about sports and think about religion. You can't, it's damn near the same. The emotions that you get when people talk about God and things like that, think about the emotions people look. The Cleveland Browns ain't won shit ever. And they got a full fucking stadium. It'd be cold as hell, snowing, raining. Them motherfuckers out there like standing. And that's what you get when people go to church. The same thing. So it's like that's their religion for real, man. The emotion, they spiritually bonded. It's probably not even the team. It's just like the ancestors, so to speak, like your grandparents, your great, like, you know what I'm saying? Like my dad.
Community.
Yeah, it just feels good. And certain players give back to the community. You see what I'm saying? So like certain players will give back. Certain players will go to the Boys and Girls Club or the teen centers and really look out for the kids. You know what I'm saying? And that's that and you know what? That's one of our main reasons how to get out the hood. Sports. So that's why we so entrenched in sports, because we know, like, if all else fails, if I'm great at sports, I know I can get to college. I know if I'm great at sports, I can make a lot of money. So it all intertwines.
I'm glad you said that because I'm the same, bro. I grew up in church and like I went through my whole rethinking of my mindset with church and sports at the same time.
Wow.
That's how I'm like that with the Lakers, me and my dad. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I was at Game 7 of the finals when Kobe beat the Celtics on my 29th birthday in 2010. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I was there for that game, 15th row. I'm sports nigga. When it comes to sports, nigga, I feel you. It was one of the things where I had to, for myself, reassess, okay, why am I giving church and sports this much power in my life? And it took me years to kind of, it was a years of an evolution to like, where I still love sports, but I had to put sports in its proper place to where it should belong. Because one thing I thought about being somebody who looked at history, I thought about Black America and where we were in the 1800s. And when they had the meritorious manumission codes, but one of the ways you can, one of the 4 ways a slave can free himself will be if he can invent something for white society. And then after slavery, when we get into the Jim Crow era, before Brown versus Board of Education, when we taught before sports became as big of a thing, like we liked Jack Johnson, we liked Joe Louis, but the minute those fights were over with, we had to go back to the sharecropping or whatever it was that we did. And when you look at the list of inventions we had just in that 100-year period between 1850 and 1950, the elevator, the telephone, the telegraph, the car, the gas mask, the doorknob, goddamn, you name it, we invented it. And I had to really sit back and think, like, why wasn't we able to do all this stuff in slavery and fresh out of slavery? Let me see. What was our priorities? Our priorities was getting that freedom. Our priorities was getting that bag. And when that was our priorities, Granville T. Woods, the person that invented the telegraph, which evolved into the fax machine, which also evolved into the train switch, which helped evolve into roller coasters, he was 7 feet tall. I had to ask myself, man, if he played today, we wouldn't have no fax machine because we'd have been telling that 7 foot tall kid to go perfect his hook shot. And that's what, because I study white supremacy and I know what they do, but I mean, like, what can we do to change certain things? I'm like, man, in that little black child's mind of yours, you got George Washington Carver, who invented over 230 inventions. You got Booker T. Washington. You got Benjamin Banneker, who designed the city of Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., in alignment with the constellation Virgo, who also created the clock, Big Ben, named after. That's who's in all of our kids' DNA. So it's like, I'm with sports, because like when I coach, I teach the game of life through basketball. I could teach, when I coach basketball, I teach cooperative economics through this offensive systems that I run. I teach leadership. I teach how to grow and how to be a man, how to be a father through the plays that I design with the kids that I coach. So when it comes to basketball, that's my shit. But my thing was, we can keep basketball, but even if our kids do make the NBA, they do be the greatest NFL player ever, they still gonna be done at 35. They still gonna have 40, 50 more years to live.
Right.
So if we approach sports from the context of, okay, play your sports, but know that this is some first quarter of your life shit. The rest of your life, you're gonna have to be a man. And that money that they give you when the NBA redid its salary cap after the lockout, look at the contracts. They're only gonna let 2 niggas get generational wealth. The rest of those people are gonna have enough to live good for about 3 or 4 years after retirement, then it's back to regular life. They cut them salaries. There's only one Steph Curry. Look at what his teammates are getting paid, $2 or $3 million a year, and they're gonna be done at 27. So, how do we balance our love for sports and our greatness at sports with what we really need to do in life? Because even if we do make it, you're done at 33.
Yeah.
So how can we? That's where I say reprioritize sports. Don't get rid of it. We love it too much, and I get it. But we can keep that love affair with sports, but reattach our love affair for science, engineering, because we are the original engineers. And I ain't talking about ancient Africa. I'm talking about the bridge that bridges, the first bridge that went across the river from Alabama to Mississippi was designed by a black man. You land at LAX, that was a black man that designed that. The same black man who designed the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall. Like, that's who we really are. This sports shit is new to us. We really are the master masons, the master engineers, the master authors. We can do both. We can be Myron. It ain't gotta be just one Myron role. We can have hundreds of Myron roles.
And we do. We do. You know? Yeah, Myron role was special. Yeah, it's a tough mountain to climb because of the tangibles are in the sports and the entertainment, you know. And those tangibles are every day. Now we got iPhones now, so it's every 5 minutes, you know, for 18, 25 years. And you're like, damn, I gotta go work. You know, like work is like a secondary option for so many people. Oh, I can just hustle and get by, and I'll be a rapper. I'll be on some level of entertainment, or like a lot of passivity, you know, as it pertains to being a go-getter.
They put it in them kids. I saw when I used to coach, man, basketball, they identified them blue chip prospects by what, 13, 14?
Right.
What do they do? Oh, you're not going to go to Crenshaw no more. You're going to go to such and such private school. We're going to put you in a private school. We're going to give your mom and daddy some money. Your kid's really good. As a coach, I might get chipped off 30 grand for sending you that way as your coach.
Right.
I didn't do that personally, but you saw the shit happen every day.
Right.
The AAU coach getting chipped off to convince the kid to go to the school.
Facts.
Parents getting chipped off. Now you put them in school, you segregate them from the society. You know, a kid, our brains only operate on rewards and consequences. So now you're good. You're 13, 14. You're in this special school. It's way better than the hood schools you went to before.
Right.
Now you got everybody giving you attention.
Right.
Now you're down at the coach telling you, yeah, you're special. Yeah. You're different than them other guys where you come from. You're special. You're different. Right. We're going to put you in school. Look how good this school is. They're not telling you they ain't teaching your son shit. Now, the rest of them kids got to get real A's. Your kid, because he can hoop, he's going to get his grades. So he's not truly been educated. And then you send him off to college to further segregation. You know what I mean? I was talking to my wife went to Duke, and she would talk about how, yeah, you didn't see them niggas. And if you did see one in the class, if you saw one in the class, they all were in that same class. So you knew what was going on. You're not getting an education. You're getting the illusion of education, which is worse because now you think you know something when you really don't know shit. Right. And these persons that know he knows nothing can be humble to learn something. Right. If you think you know something, because I went to Duke, I went to UCLA, but they didn't teach you shit because they need to keep them GPAs up. Right. You know what I mean? And now you've been told, now you're 21, 22 years old. You've been told for 10 years of your life now that you're better than everybody else, you special, and you're a rookie in the NBA. We see a rookie, the consumer. What I see is someone who's been segregated purposely from his community for over 10 years. Now you wonder why all these niggas say the same thing when they interview. Now you wonder why we're expecting them to speak up when they've been disconnected from their community already for 10 years by the time you see them as a rookie. So by the time they're a vet like LeBron or anyone else, they have you ever been to an all-star game party?
Oh, yeah.
I've been to hundreds. Them hoes is fun. All them NBA finals after the Lakers won, I was, yay. Nigga, you get open bar, dog. Everybody love you. I mean, you getting told that you're the greatest. You don't have a connection to your people. That's the part that people don't see about the athlete, even if we wanted them to, because the parents give up their kids basically at such a young age to the AAU system. It's not in them. It's not in them.
I see that in a lot of them. And then they get lost when they realize that when they turn 25, oh, they got the next 18-year-old is coming now.
But you've already spent half your money by then, Fred.
Yeah.
And you only got one more contract coming. Maybe, if you're lucky.
Facts. And then we get big Jews. And then we get this. I always thought Rosecrans Boulevard, we got Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Brandon Jennings, Tyson Chandler. Rosecrans Boulevard. Dude, we could do so much. Just that one street alone, we got 5 pros in the NBA or NBA age.
DeRozan, right. You forgot him.
Yeah, DeMar. God damn.
Yeah, but that requires a consciousness that we as the adults need to instill in them. But and as long as we're allowing them to go, and I get it, if they're offering you money to put your kid in one of them schools, I get it. But if we're not balancing that with knowledge of self, if they know who all of the top 75 is, but they don't know who these 5 brothers are in this shirt, that's a problem. Because them crackers ain't gonna teach it to them. So by the time they get the money, and they're so young when they get the money, I remember I used to have this one player I used to coach who was on the Clippers. I'm not gonna say which year, but I remember going into after the game. I remember taking my wife to one of the games. We're in the friends and family room at Staples Center, and my wife is like, "It's some Stepford wife. What the fuck is going on?" Why did she say that? Because you can take each one of them niggas' women, take one head off, put it on the other body. It's the same woman. All of them, they all fuck the same women, or they ain't fucking the exact same woman. They look exactly alike. I saw one player get a matte red Bentley GT. 2 days later, another one gets a matte blue Bentley GT. It's like, follow the leader. These are the like, but I can't get mad at them. You're 20, 25 years old. If you're a professional athlete, your whole identity is based on someone else's perception of you. So when do you have time to learn you for who you are? Because whether you're drafted 1st or 30th depends on what someone else thinks. So your whole life growing up is dependent upon making yourself the best candidate to be the best stock for someone else. And that includes your consciousness. You know, they know at 16, I can't say that. These coaches ain't gonna like me speaking up for this. They know that at 16. What the fuck you think they're gonna do at 25? You like I would see new players come in. You know what I mean? I remember one time going to the bar, I'm going to the club. I looked at the receipt. The receipt was $260,000 for the night.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? That was just one night. And you go to these different look at what Antoine Walker just said a couple days ago. You see
about
that?
Diddy. Yeah, about Diddy. Yeah.
And Jay-Z going back and saying they was living the life of what they heard in the music. And if you don't have proper guidance, and those punk ass coaches are the ones teaching you everything, you don't have a consciousness to do what we see. But you weren't even been around us. You've been somewhere else. Look at an AAU team. When you're on a good AAU team in high school, you're traveling every fucking weekend.
Facts.
The Compton Magic don't live in Compton.
Right.
They got players from all across the country.
Yeah.
We fly in this tournament. We at the Fab 48 in Vegas this week. We in Utah next week. When do these kids ever get a chance to develop an identity and a sense of self? All of these things we want from these athletes requires a sense of self and a deep love and knowledge for your community. But what does it take? If you're gonna make the NBA, that's 8 hours a day of workouts to maybe make college. You got it 2 hours in the morning, strength and conditioning. Then you got maybe cool off. Then in the middle of the day, you might be an open run at UCLA. You do your open run. After open run, you got to do your skill position work. You know, you're gonna put up your 1,000 jumpers, another 500 free throws. You're gonna work on your elbow. You're gonna work on your footwork. You're 8 to 10 hours a day as an athlete. When do you have the time to learn this shit? Then when you're done with that, you got $3-4 million and you 23 years old. What you gonna do? Read the USA Today or go get some pussy? Let's just tell the truth.
Right. Right.
So we expecting things from people who don't have the consciousness to give it to us.
That's a whole lot. Those are bars.
Yeah. That's why I'm not against sport. That's why when I coach basketball, I talk life. And any kid that worked under me, like we talking all this shit. When I'm teaching you how to run off of a brush screen, when I'm teaching a child with talent, okay, when to be assertive and when to back off, because in life, there are times that you do got to be the man and be the one that closes the deal. And there are sometimes in your environment, look at your wife, look at your business partner, and see they have a set of skills that where all you got to do is lay back and let them. You got to, and it's a constant balance within the game within the game.
Right.
And if the game is taught properly, we can teach that shit to these kids. But we ain't doing that. We over here teaching them to worship. Don't worship. Learn the game and learn the game for yourself. But we ain't teaching it right.
So who the 5 guys in your shirt?
Got Nat Turner, the Nat Turner Rebellion. Killed off all them crackers that was fucking with him. Robert Smalls, he freed himself from slavery. Stole a Confederate ship, sailed into the Union, came back, got his wife, his kids, bought the plantation he used to live on, moved in it, became the first black man in Congress. Bass Reeves cleared out the Oklahoma Territory. Denmark Vesey planned the largest revolt in American history, 1822. They had 9,000 people ready to go in Charleston, South Carolina. But a snitch came in the day before the revolt started, and then they arrested him before the revolt started. But he had 9,000 niggas ready. And then Jean-Jacques Dessalines, the man who kicked off the Haitian Revolution. I mean, we got so many revolutionaries from back then. You got people from recently. You got T.R.M. Howard, who was around in 1955. We wouldn't know about Emmett Till if it weren't for T.R.M. Howard. He was a black surgeon that was a businessman who who's used his own money to get the people from Jet Magazine to come down to Mississippi to report on the story. And everybody who came down, he had a full artillery of weapons. When they had their marches before the NAACP came around, he was stocking niggas with guns. Them Klan members didn't fuck with him. He shoot them motherfuckers right back, and he got to live loud and proud in Mississippi before he ended up moving to Chicago. We've had some real life revolutionaries who've changed shit, and we got the memories to know these people, but we just get dumped with so much information on sports. It's like, goddamn, how many times do we got to see that Doug highlight?
Nah, you're right.
And I don't blame us. We got dumped in this situation. I know I sometimes see things a little. That's why, like, instead of me going around blaming saying, well, we need to just do better. I created Fred is my inspiration, man. I remember watching this brother do his shit and report on the business of boxing. And I remember thinking, like, man, I know I got more to say, man. Let me just create my own platform and put out there what I think we need to happen. What I think, man, maybe I can help shift some minds instead of sitting around complaining about what black people ain't doing. Let me create a platform to where I can put the shit out there. And hopefully it's a willing ear, the same way I was willing to listen to Fred.
So you got your own channel?
Yeah, Dewan B, everything.
Right, but Dewan Space B. And I even my music talk, I broke down recently on my channel.
Dude, you gotta listen to that shit, dog. That's hey, I'll be like, damn, because I'm not much of a music buff pre 80, 85. So I'll be listening to you like Head be in the clouds, man.
I broke down how like they took our music from us, man. We didn't decide to have this trash ass music. That shit was they bought our black people did everything we say we should do. We created our own record labels, we created the whole process, and we was putting out the good shit. Then they would come through and buy the shit and then say, okay, no more of that good shit. Play this trash over here. That was all systematic. So, like, when I talk about systematic stuff, I give you the names and dates. I'm not just sitting around here saying, oh, we oppressed. I'm going to tell you who oppressed us and how they did it and how we can fix it. And, you know, I know you watch, I saw you watching before. I know you watch Craig from Roast Me. We got our own, I do his show every Tuesday and Thursday, Craig Facts. I don't know if you watch that. Do you watch that?
I'm in and out of that.
Yeah, I watched that. I'm on Craig Facts too. Every Tuesday and Thursday.
That shit the best show ever, dog.
Yeah,
like hands down, dog. That shit is electric, man. I ain't never seen nothing like it. I swear.
I want you to come back down, Fred.
Yeah, thank you. I will when I'll come promote the movie as well. So I'll have that
checks and balances, baby.
Yeah, check, man. But Craig's Facts, dog. Hey, I talk about y'all like I'm invested in the show. Anybody tell me, I'd be like, man, Craig Facts is the best show ever on YouTube, man. Oh man, that's
we try to break down the information, but we be clowning each other too. That's what be throwing people off.
Yeah. And that's what got me too. Like I was like, oh, yeah, this was a while back. I'm like, yeah, they know what they're talking about. And I like how everyone's lexicon is different. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. Everyone's intelligent, but everyone has their own vernacular and everyone's an individual there too. You know, and that's
hey, you got a unk on your
yeah, I got my logo, yeah.
Yeah, and
that I got two shows, the Hotel Bitch, and I also got Incense and Ashtrays. That's the music show where I really break down the music shit.
Well, y'all better get hip to Dewan. Y'all kidding me?
Oh, what's the other one?
Incense and Ashtrays. That's on Mixcloud, but I still do my YouTube one, but I also have an Incense and Ashtrays on Mixcloud because YouTube don't let you play music. Yeah. So the Mixcloud account, I actually play the music and really break it down.
I'm gonna fuck with you. I like what you kicking out, man. God damn it.
What, man? Every day.
And I'm gonna say this though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you because me and Fred feel the same way. I'm not down for these niggas. I'm keeping it real with you, D. I'm not done for these niggas, man. Listen, the thing is, we got a long list of revolutionaries that have been fucked over by these niggas. You know what I mean? And listen, cause I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Hey, fuck these niggas. I mean, no offense, but fuck these niggas, dog. Man, hell no.
But
hey,
go ahead.
Listen,
nigga.
I'm getting old. Nigga, I ain't fucking with these niggas. My grandpa said this all the time. My grandpa used to be like, man, he said I ain't these stupid stinking black dogs. That's what he used to call them. He said they doing all that they want. I ain't doing it because I ain't losing my life for these niggas. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. Malcolm X, I mean, one of the greatest revolutionaries we've ever had. You know what I'm saying? Touch and agree. You know what I'm saying? And boom. You know what I'm saying? Huey P. Fucking
Edgar Evers.
Dude, I mean, the Black Panther Party is just fucked over.
Geronimo Pratt.
Oh, it's just so many, man.
I mean, and now that's why I tell people, like, because I disseminate information, but when niggas try to put that leadership on me, I be like, pause. Yeah. I ain't leading shit. I tell people, my show starts with, this show is the profound and the profane. I cuss niggas out just to remind them that I ain't no leader. Like, no, nigga, I'm gonna give you some information. Go read that shit and synthesize it, however you synthesize it, nigga. But don't put me as no goddamn leader. You niggas ain't offered Betty Shabazz a bucket of chicken.
Dude, that annoys the living shit out of me, dog. I'm like, how we got his 6 daughters out here by themselves, man?
They should be wealthy.
Man, I say that shit all the time. and she wouldn't
I'm
allow
telling
me
you.
to help her or nothing like that. I was like, man, we got to do like a monthly thing for you. But she,
If
like,
it was something for Malcolm X's daughters, you guarantee I'm putting money in on that.
Yeah, it needs to be.
For real.
It needs to be. He got 5 daughters out here.
And I got 4. I got 3 daughters. I ain't fucking with y'all niggas, man. Fuck y'all. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. You know, you a martyr, but at the end of the day, man, that shit don't matter. I'm gonna keep it real, bro. Like they in the history books forever, but at the end of the day, man, didn't nobody give a fuck until they died. You know what I'm saying? So
They died unpopular.
The fact that oh man, I don't want to make this show another 2 hours, but the fact that a black man killed him and they knew the black man was gonna kill him and he wasn't protected. Like, I don't give a fuck what Malcolm X said. We gotta protect you, man. They didn't protect him. You know, and it's I think about it all the time, man. How does a black man kill Malcolm X? How?
I'll tell you how. I get when you're under the foot of a system, you know, the self-hate is a bitch.
Isn't it?
So you don't see Malcolm as your brother. We all see each other as we see ourselves. And you have a larger pool of people to pull from self-deprived people. Because look, at the end of the day, this was saying a white man killed Abraham Lincoln. A white man killed President McKinley stabbed President McKinley in 1901 at the World's Fair in Buffalo, New York, being spurred on by articles from William Randolph Hearst, a white newspaper owner. Inspired a white man to kill a white president. A white man shot Reagan in 1982. When you get the people that's gonna kill you, probably gonna look like you, no matter what color, and it's gonna be double easy when you have such a negative. It all comes back down to perception itself and how we see ourselves and how we look at ourselves. That's why I spend so much time talking about the greatness within us, because the only way to fix that is not the only way. I gotta stop saying that. There is no only way to fix shit. My perception, from my point of view on how to fix it, is to instill what's not there. And what's not there is knowledge of self, self-love, self-pride. Because nobody who loves themselves and loves the people around them would ever kill Malcolm X or anybody like that.
Yeah.
As long as you got these dirty, sorry sons of bitches walking around freely, and as long as we as the adults are celebrating that dirty, degenerate, filthy shit, like what you were saying about the Super Bowl, then
yeah, that shit's just a nausea, man. Kevin Brower said, I watched the Medgar Evers movie a few days ago. That movie broke my heart. Man, oh man.
And they don't tell us about how Medgar Evers was staunchly against the NAACP when it came to that nonviolent shit.
Yeah. And his wife is still alive.
Huh?
His wife, Mrs. Evers, is still alive.
Yeah, she's still alive.
Yeah.
And his brother.
Yeah.
They talk about Medgar Evers' brother, how he would, you know, when they came to a lot of them boycotts in Mississippi, they make it seem as if black people just boycotting. Shit, Medgar Evers' brother, Robert Evers. I think it's Robert Evers.
Yeah, him and Dick Gregory.
Yeah, when they had a boycott, Medgar's brother had always had organized militias to enforce the boycotts. So if somebody walked in one of them stores, black folks, or was a boycotting, Medgar Evers' brother would have hands for them niggas when they got back home. And he was the enforcer, and he did a lot of things that they make it seem as if we shall overcome is what won. Nah. It was the or else.
Unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
The NAACP ain't shit.
Oh, that's very popular opinion with me.
They hurt us more. Listen, they hurt us like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because when it was time to ride, they took their fucking tip. Man, look at Oklahoma, man. Oklahoma City. I mean, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Just that in itself. Y'all, man, they always talking about that nonviolent shit, man. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. In the words of the great philosopher Frederick S. Hawthorne, man, if a nigga throw a rock, throw a couple bricks. You know what I'm saying?
Don't fucking play.
Man, NAACP, when you look at the history, Black Lives Matter is a new version of the NAACP. Their
Yeah,
job
a
is
white
to
man,
come
Bird,
around.
it took more money.
White man came up with it.
Man,
Yeah, because I always tell people, get this book right here. We Will Shoot Back. It's a book. It's a book about the militant resistance Black people had in Mississippi during the 50s and the 60s, and it shows you at every turn it was the Black people who was like, "Now we getting these guns and we gonna throw these hands." It was the NAACP that was always the ones coming around saying, "No, please sit the guns down." Even Dr. King said he's cool with guns. He said Dr. King was very specific in his philosophy. He said, "My personal philosophy is nonviolence, and that's for two reasons. One, we don't have the military power to stand up to them gun for gun. So you're strategic in the nonviolence part. The second part was it was to show the world how violent we're going to tell you we're going to be nonviolent. It's to show the world how violent these rascals could be." King's perception was to be very disruptive with nonviolence, make nonviolence a disruptive service. But at the same time, he said, "I'm not going to hit nobody back, but if any of you other niggas do, I can't say nothing." So the nonviolence in Mississippi, all them ass whooping stopped in 1966 when Medgar Evers' brother and the rest of them was pulling them guns out. You didn't see no more shootings because them niggas had guns. Diggers of Defense. It was all kind of paramilitary organizations Black people had that were lining the streets of the marches. And if a white person rolled up, they had checkpoints. And if a white person came up and they wasn't about anything civil, they had to go the other way or get a shotgun put in their ass. And I ain't talking one story. I'm talking hundreds of stories. We ain't the pacifists that they try to make us. That's some rewrite of history, this whole nonviolent NAACP shit. That ain't who we are.
They don't tell that story. They definitely don't tell
us
that story. Yeah. Deacons of Defense protected those marches. That's why you stop seeing Black people spray with water hoses. Yeah, when Malcolm saw them water hoses and them 4 little girls, Malcolm was ready to go. And you know,
they all were the only, like I said, Dr. King only said that nonviolence is because we just don't have the military power. He didn't say nonviolence just to be nonviolent. It was a strategic thing for a certain period of time.
Right.
That wasn't supposed to be some long-standing shit. That's the NAACP rewriting shit.
Right.
Well, and they full of shit too. Because how come every time we had a leader under their tutelage, the motherfucker died?
And we get left with Al Sharpton.
Al Sharpton is, man, he taking what he
and Jesse Jackson, sorry ass, man.
Yeah.
Khalid Muhammad, he does a good Jesse Jackson.
Al Sharpton was an informant. And that's public record. It's public record. Al Sharpton worked with them with the 3-letter agencies.
Yeah.
With his sorry ass.
Yeah, Al Sharpton's one of the worst. He's one of the worst, man. And all he's looking for is a check. Like it is so blatantly obvious. Like him at the George Floyd funeral in Houston. I'm like, come on, y'all. This is too much.
I couldn't watch, man.
It was a political campaign.
I couldn't watch.
I said, this is disgusting how they done pimp this man out.
They pimped him out for real. Ain't shit changed.
Ain't shit, man. He got a statue in New Jersey.
Oh, but they're about to pay reparations to gay people who couldn't find who are victims of not being able to be married before 2012. There's a big check waiting on it. It was an article that came out about a month ago saying that they're looking for victims for gay victims before they die who wanted to be married before 2012 and couldn't, so they can pay them a reparations check for the hardships America created on them. They're giving $450,000 to people who were stuck in the cages during the Trump administration along the border. $450,000 in reparations each. So if a woman had 3 kids, that's over $1 million for that family.
Joe Biden is a piece of
Joe Biden is a piece of shit. See, listen, and these niggas was dancing in the street, Fred. These niggas was dancing in the street with Trump. Listen, bro. Fuck y'all, man. I hate niggas, man. I really do. These gas prices are fucking ridiculous, man.
And they ain't gonna get no better no time soon because they got a reason.
And it's his fault. The gas, like, man.
We got the Keystone Pipeline.
Okay, can I just say this real quick, man? I don't listen, man. Why didn't the Ukraine join NATO like everybody else? You pay for your protection, then you get protected. You want to be a renegade. See what I'm saying? You know, not to say it, but I'm gonna say it. You know, the Ukraine was a renegade hoe, and a guerrilla pimp ran up on them and chased them down. That's what happened, bro. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? They want to be a renegade, didn't want to join NATO, and motherfucker got ran up on. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, come here. I'm about to slap you up real quick. That's what happened to the Ukraine, man. If you think about it, they would have joined NATO, none of this shit would happen. Because you know if they join NATO, we got to come after them for real. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to come. And what the fuck are we even doing? Why is it in our business? Why is America always in somebody else's business, bro? You know what I'm saying? Russia ain't done shit to us, but help us our economy and help us with China.
It ain't shit, man. Look,
bring Trump back, man.
That's
bring
all
Trump
white on white crime. That whole area, you can't find a 10, 20-year period of peace in Eastern Europe in thousands of years.
Facts.
All they do is fight. They just was fighting in Crimea in 2014. 1998, you had Kosovo. 1991, you know what I mean? The ending of the USSR. You had the Slavic wars of the 90s. I remember as a kid growing up, seeing Vlade Divac and Drazen Petrovic were great friends, but Drazen Petrovic died before they got to amend their friendship because they stopped being friends because of the Slavic wars of the 80s and the 90s. All them motherfuckers do is fight each other, man. The fuck we care about them? Ukraine is full of neo-Nazis. They got Nazis in their military organizations. They say Ukraine got per capita has like the highest Nazi rate in the world. Like, fuck both of them. Like, and then Joe Biden is saying that we're not going to buy Russian oil. For what? People don't understand. Russia was established in Kiev. That's their old land. That's the land of Attila the Hun. They've been doing this shit for thousands of years. It was the West that started to break shit up. Now they trying to reunite they shit before the West broke it up. Let them fight they fights, man. Fuck we gotta do with that? Nothing. But they make it a fight because this is one more thing to put us, hey, black people, we can't worry about what y'all got going on. We know y'all talking about reparations, but it's a war on the other side of the world that ain't got nothing to do with us, but we gonna make ourselves a part of it.
No, that's straight facts, man. And Craig facts, man. And your boy Duncan was in here, man. And man, we thank you for coming in here tonight, man. You lit this summer down up, man. God damn. Man.
I appreciate it, man.
Why it take you so long?
Man, I was waiting on the invite. Anytime, the minute you said, yeah, you gave me a date, I was right here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Everyone go watch that Jay-Z video he did yesterday.
You gonna be up for a long time?
Yeah.
Well, shit, man. Come on to the boxing section, man. Right after Fred go off, I'm coming on, man.
Okay. If I'm still on my computer, I think I'm already subscribed to you, but I'm gonna go back and look. I think I'm already subscribed to you though.
Yeah, we can have you on right now. We gotta keep this shit going. Yeah,
man. God damn, Dwan, I got a lot to digest, man. And but what you said about that 10-year gap, because I was being introspective when you said that, because I left Venice High School at 17, went to college, but I lived on the west side, which is black, but not black. And then I went to Whittier, and now I'm back. And now I came back to LA at about 10 years ago, 9 years ago. So somewhere in there. So I see what you're talking about. You, you know what I mean? How like the course of life, and it wasn't even like success, but my road that I believe to be success, how they put these institutions out of our development circles, whether it's college, whether it's anything else, you have to go to them, to get that extra push,
Yeah,
you know.
it's a
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, it's definitely a game, dog. And yeah, it was definitely eye-opening, man. Craig Facts tomorrow,
Yeah,
4 o'clock.
we're
Yeah.
gonna be back on tomorrow, 3:30 or 4:30 Western Pacific time,
Uh-huh.
7:30 Eastern time. Even though it's say 3:30, we always get started about 4:20, 4:30.
And you're going live tomorrow too, yeah?
Yeah, if not tomorrow, I'm definitely gonna do Friday, go live Friday, because it'd be sometime hard for me to double up.
Yeah, in the morning. In the morning, he going
Yeah,
live.
but I like to go up in the morning and get that information out there as soon as I can.
I hit the bell icon, so I get it.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. I better listen to this man. He a treasure, man.
I appreciate that, Fred.
You are, and you got like hood in you, so you can change your lexicon has different variants to it.
Oh yeah, man. I gotta get to the people, man.
Get to the people.
Is
that your shirt from your color line?
Yeah, it's one of my shirts. Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and get me one of them. You got hoodies or just shirts?
I got hoodies and shirts.
Hoodies.
Yeah, me and Fred, that's what we do, man. Me and Fred, we like hoodie mellow.
Yeah, I'll pick the one up when I go to the show. I know I'll be doing it sometime soon. But yeah, man. God, thank you for coming in here, man.
I appreciate it, man. I do it anytime, brother.
You will?
Yeah, I do it.
Great week.
Yeah, let me know.
All right.
And I forgot, brother. I told my wife after this we gonna watch a movie, so she looked at me like, "You ain't about to do no other goddamn interview."
What movie you watching?
Like, late at night, I'm usually up, so I'm anytime, bro.
Yeah,
we listen. We up all goddamn night, every night. Well, I ain't.
Okay.
My podcast is I give these niggas the best hour of my life. And then after that, nigga, I gotta go to sleep. I gotta be up at 4 a.m. and do a 16. So I got an hour for you.
Y'all gotta get Dame Dash and Craig Facts, dog.
We do gotta get Dave down there.
We didn't get here, Fred. Goddamn.
No, we gonna come here. But I'm saying in there, imagine Craig Facts live, Dame Dash in there.
That would actually be pretty fun.
That'd be dope.
Fun. I think that'll stop. I think that'll stop crime for a few hours.
We know the right questions to ask, because when we get the real generals in the room with us, we ask the real questions that's gonna be a substance. You know what I mean?
You're right. Y'all motherfuckers are great. Y'all just great, man. I vouch for that show. 1000%, dog.
I appreciate that.
Everybody that's come on this show has been absolutely amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that, man.
Facts. Well, thanks for coming in here, dog.
All right, man. Thanks again, brother. And I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share it on my channel too. Just sharing it. Send everybody right back here.
Thank you, and likewise, I'll do the same. For sure.
For sure, man. Y'all have a good one.
Appreciate
you too.
Yes,
thanks,
sir.
D. Man,
Fred, this might be the best week we done had, nigga.
Yeah, we laughed yesterday. We got serious today. We had it comes. It's like life. It's a life cycle. You know what I mean?
Man, we've been on the road this week, dog. I ain't gonna even lie, dude. This week been litty.
Yeah, Champion Heart with the salmon, and yeah, man. Go support Dewan and Craig Facts, man. I think free speech is important. I think seeing men that look like you, sound like you, breathe like you, date women like you, have independent voices. I think it's important. That's why I like the show. They have very independent voices, and it's Craig Facts is a treasure, man. It is, man. It is, man. I talk about it all the time, so that shit is good. Yeah, for sure. Go to Craig Facts and please support that show. And But yeah, man, this was an awesome show, man. And yeah, we got a lot of information. Yeah, I was being very introspective because I always have this conversation about, because people always ask me, like, because Dre is Asian, as you got all y'all know by now. And they says, how did you date Dre? I said, I met her in 1997 in college. And when he was saying that, I see like the women I dated, like my circle of friends, and like how when you get taken out of that environment and you have to go to their environment, and it was Whittier College. I ended up at Whittier College, which is a Quaker college. Uh, you have to find success in that environment, whether it's eating, whether it's sexual preferences, whether it's education, or whether it's social groups. And the numbers and just and sheer numbers and quantity of interactions. You understand what I'm saying, Kyle? The quantity of interactions will be like the United Nations, you know. So so proximity plays a huge part in life experiences. You know what I mean?
Somebody wants to know what a Quaker college was, Fred.
It's a Christian school, like old school Christians. You know, you know, old school Christians with the old white Puritan type of yeah. So I transferred into Whittier College, by the way. If those you questioning like my
Now, do you think you should have left?
Prowess. Do I think I should have left where?
The first college.
Yeah, hell yeah. I wouldn't have made it. Hell yeah, I wouldn't have made it.
So what was the first college like? Well, when you made it?
Cal Baptist. My roommate got to come on, man. We got to share these stories with y'all. I had to get a minor in religious studies. Fred at 17 wasn't prepared for shit. I went to college at 17, didn't turn, and I wasn't prepared. I didn't have a father, man. My grandfather was in New York. He had died, and he died January of 95. And I just wasn't prepared, man. No matter how good your mom is, or how great your mom you think you are, or bad, or whatever variance you on, a child needs a father, man. I don't care if it's a girl or a boy. You know what I mean? Because whether it's educational predators or sexual predators, or and then you get the development. Because if I had a father, I would have came in on weight. Yeah, Cal Baptist. Yeah, I would have came in on weight. I came to college at 135, 140. I can't play at that level at 135, 140. I didn't know that. You know. I so I said all that to say, man, y'all bet fatherhood is so important. Fatherhood, so important. And I'm dedicating my life to fatherhood, you know. And I see it in my child. I see all the gaps in my childhood. And then you can see as you get older how you see like how like the impact of being raised by a woman. Like you really got to step out of yourself to see the flaws you have when you're just being raised by a woman. You understand? There's great characteristics too. You understand? But since we're talking about the lack of manhood, uh yeah, you see it, man. You definitely see it, you know. Um, but I think I would have had sex with a lot less women if I had a father, though. You know, like because that was like my calling card. You know, sex, 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 sex. So, um, you know, and I think I would have been mature a whole lot sooner. Uh, I definitely would have been successful a whole lot sooner because I would have been more sturdy in my teens and my 20s. And so Or if my grandfather would have lived 5 more years, you know. But I'm not in control of that.
Yeah. How old was he when he passed?
I was 17. Yeah. So yep. It was yeah, man. So yeah. So fatherhood, man. Be a father, man. Be a You know what I mean? If you love pussy that much, put it in the like I said, put it in a paper bag, man. Don't glorify it, publicize that shit. Publicize being a great father, man. You know, I've transitioned to that. Brag about being a great father, be a great man. All that nigga shit you do, put that shit in a paper bag. We're all human. So we're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna fuck women. You're gonna smoke weed. You might try a little crack. You might whatever you do.
Whoa, wait a minute.
I'm just saying. It's real life. Nigga, it's real life. Like crack is a synonym for whatever you want it to be. Strip clubs or drinking, whatever you want it to be. But
ignorant nigga chains.
Yeah, ignorant nigga chains. Put that shit in a paper bag. Put it in a paper bag and don't glorify that shit. You're human. You're gonna fall short. No one's perfect. Nigga said, hold up, crack. Some niggas like crack. Speaking of crack, hey.
Don't you dare, man.
What's up, man?
Yeah, hey, you seem in a good mood today, Fred, man. We're gonna let that one slide. Nah, hey, I 1,000,000,000% agree with you with the fatherhood shit, man. I think
what? I love that shit, man.
I love it. It's the best thing ever happened to me. This saved my motherfucking life, because Lord knows where the fuck I'd be. I mean, I caught a case as a father, but I can only imagine what it's like if I didn't have my daughter. So, right. And that's the other thing too. I had a daughter compared to a son, which I think helped me out a lot. If I would have had a little me, I'd probably be just as ratchet and crazy as I was beforehand. So
yeah.
But
you love spreads too much anyway, so
Hey.
Bad.
Yeah, and I want all y'all men to understand, your social media timeline is gonna be the lifeline to your grandkids. You understand what I know that, like, to your great grandkids and your great grandkids, this is your lifeline. Like, this is who they gonna believe you are. This shit ain't going nowhere. So, like, put that bullshit in the paper bag. You can still be a nigga, do it in the paper bag. You still go to strip clubs, but don't glorify that shit. Glorify squeezing the hell out of your daughter, reading a book. Like, that's the cool shit that we want to publicize. You can still have 3 girlfriends. You can still, well, I'm serious, but just put it in a paper bag. You know what I mean? Until you get better. Like, Fred got some nigga in him, but I'm not gonna glorify the shit. I'm not doing it. It's gonna stay in the paper bag.
Yeah, I just did that. I want to say the end of last year. I went through my IG, went back. All the years I've had it. I just started taking off pointless memes, like me smoking weed, shit, and shit like that. And now my whole IG is just me and my kids. That's it.
You got one kid?
Yeah, I only got one. Yeah, one and done.
One and done. You done?
I mean, I'm like 98.9% sure I want to get a vasectomy, but that one point of it might not work after. It's too much risk. I don't know, man. But my daughter's about to be 13. That's too much of a gap between a new one.
Now she can help you watch it.
Fuck no, I ain't that man. Hey, I'm American. Remember, I'm American. I'm Mexican.
No, nigga, nigga, if you gotta go do some shit, your daughter can help change the diapers and shit like that.
Nah, I don't trust kids with kids, man. That's my job.
Okay, I guess so, nigga.
Because then they grow up like, well, I raised my little brother. I'm 16. I can handle a baby. Like, nah.
Yeah,
Be a kid.
My ADD wouldn't allow me to have just one kid.
It was ADD? That's what it was?
Yeah.
I have more kids than Kyle right now. Had I known the importance of and how important of reproducing, shit, I would have had 6 kids, man. I ain't lying.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. God did this on purpose, man, because he knew I was trying to get a boy. And he knew I wasn't gonna stop until I got one. And then, you know, my wife, I love you, babe, but you know, she the reason why we got the last one. You know.
Yeah.
How many kids you got, Kyle?
I got 4.
I got 2, and you got 1. So we doubled up. 1, 2, 4.
There you go, exponentially. You see?
Yeah.
So let no one else come around. They gonna pop up like Phillip Rivers with a whole team, man. No, but I think I really like that that you threw that shit in there for everybody listening, man. Because like I tell people all the time, I don't have friends that don't take care of their kids. Period. I can never call you a friend.
I'm not playing that. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not playing that at all. I don't even think I have friends that don't take. I know I.
And I don't give a fuck what the circumstances are. I don't care if you got the worst baby mama in the world. If she put you through the ringer, you better go to court, get that paperwork right, do what the fuck you got to do. There's nothing stopping you no more, man.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you.
Luckily, I got a cool one, man. I got best baby mama I could ever have. Really, I got to look out on that. Real cool.
Shout out to Kyle Davis for having a wife.
There you go. That's how you got to do it, man. Yeah, you had your kids after marriage or before?
Boy, after, boy, I wasn't fucking around.
I feel it.
I seen what it was like. I seen what niggas have gone through. See, I don't see me personally. I don't have to go through this shit to realize I don't want to do that shit. You know what I mean? I'm a wise man. If I see you, listen. I don't drink because I see how people look drunk. You know what I mean? That ain't my style. So, fuck that.
Yeah, we don't want Killer Kyle coming out all the hella random one night. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy caveman, he'll come out and play, man.
We want you exercising your demons. We all trying to have a good time, man.
Man.
Well, let's get Fred out of here, man. You know, it's getting late out here in the streets.
Nah, this was a great show, man.
Great
show. This show was awesome, man. Yeah, everybody, Craig Facts, man. Duncan, we gotta get the whole cast, and we just got to go through them because every time they come on, they just fucking perfect guests. You know what I mean?
Man, every time.
Facts. That's facts on facts. Yeah, that's facts on Craig's facts. Yeah, facts on Craig's facts.
You need to get Craig's ass on here. That motherfucker's funny as shit, man.
Yeah, he funny.
Man, bro, funny as hell. And Russell's coming back on.
God.
Russell coming back on caffeine too.
It's coming back on.
Yes, but it's gonna be on caffeine. The app caffeine.
What's that? Oh, the app. Okay.
Oh yeah. That's why I watch all my rap battles on. That's the only reason I have that app. So
no, I'm a Whittier College alumni. I graduated from Whittier. I graduated in 2000. Dre graduated 2002. All our class graduated from 90. Well, but my whole circle is in between that 99 and 02. So that's pretty common.
So you didn't play basketball at Whittier College?
Played football and ran track and did that thing. Me and the basketball, I was a lot of arrogant and at Whittier College. I was so good and I had a white coach and I called him white in so many different words.
Attaboy.
I was 17.
Keep your foot on these suckers' necks.
I was 18, man. I'm telling you, that's why fathers are so important, man. Fathers are so important, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, I would have went to the NFL if I had a father. No doubt about it. I was a freak of a football player. Like I was developmentally behind, but I would have been a big time Division I slot guy. Big time. Yeah, easily. So, that's
why. You play receiver?
Yeah, I was a slot guy. I was a motion guy, motion, play slot, special teams.
On a scale of 1 through 10, what would you rate your CTE if you had to guess?
CTE? What was that? What's that?
The brain trauma from football.
Oh, I have very little because I only played 2 years. I got very little.
Okay.
But I remember getting a concussion one time though. I do remember.
Yeah. There's a lot of those. That's the one you remember.
Yeah. But if I would have played football from 6th grade and 5th grade, oh man, I would have been so special. I would have been like Peter Warwick. Not Peter. Peter Warwick is special, but like in that realm.
Okay. Like Percy Harvin or what?
Nah, that's special. Like that's super special. But
like Steve Tasker,
like Hawkins from him. I would have been more like him,
okay.
especially in college. I would have been really good in college for sure. Real quick burst speeds, and change.
So I know you got a son. I hate to drag out the combo, but I know you got a young one. How you feel about him playing football? Because I know like my nephews want to play, but with all the information we have now, like it's pretty much guaranteed you'll have brain damage at the end of your football career.
Yeah.
What do you think about kids getting involved in tackle early?
I haven't given. I thought of it early with Lincoln, but I wouldn't mind. Dre would be, she's a doctor, so Dre would definitely put him on on it. Well, that's 100 hits for the season. You can't play no more. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like Dre would be something like that. Lincoln has a great gait. Like he has a great gait. You know what I mean? And that comes from Dre being Asian and me being black. In terms of like Asians are like from the waist down, they're real like quick and agile and but I don't know what he's gonna do. He loves basketball, and but I know he's gonna be athletically inclined because I see him play tag, and I see him, I'll be playing that game with him, see where he's at, you know what I mean? And but yeah, he's athletically inclined. He's not good at anything yet, but you can see if he puts something to it, he'll be fine.
Man, my kid the opposite. She don't got no coordination. Her fucking bones. I tried all the sports with her. We done tried everything so far. Huh?
You get it from her dad.
Nah, hell, I was a star athlete, man. I was a star athlete. Hold on.
Yeah, man.
No. I wish. I mean, she a little, she a premature lefty. She just into like arts, crafts, computers. Like she more like of a thinking kid. So
it's Lincoln. That's Lincoln.
Yeah, keep the brain stimulated so she don't get bored. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you them. We're gonna sum it up on this. If y'all can add after this as well, do what you want. Okay. We got in a car today, right? And because we finished the Malcolm X book on Monday, and I said, "So Lincoln, the book is done." Because I think Dre took him to school yesterday, or maybe I did. I don't know, but I took him to school today, so there was a gap. And I said, Lincoln, so what are we gonna watch? What are we gonna listen to today? Like, we have nothing to listen. We've been listening to one thing for 2 months. What are we gonna listen? You know what he told me? He says, I want to listen to the Ballad of the Bullet speech. That's Malcolm X's most famous speech. I said, what? But that goes to show you like the habits that because I'm in the house. I don't really play music. I play that type of stuff in the house, and that's crazy that he actually thought of that. I was like, damn, that was impressive. So the importance of fatherhood. So that speaks volumes of like that's the connection that see how a football player I would have been just by having the presence of a father, So, yeah.
Yeah, man, we the backbone of society, man. Motherfuckers keep trying to minimize us and our importance to this shit, man.
Facts.
Without us, man, we see what happens when ain't no dads around. We all know what happens when ain't no dads around.
Yeah.
I mean, some make it out, but you playing with fire. We talking about the odds here. You know what I'm saying?
Fire.
Yeah. I mean, in every category of negativity in the world is for people that don't got dads. They're X amount more likely to go to jail. X amount more likely sexual abuse. X amount more likely to have drug addict. All that shit. It's like it's overwhelming, the numbers. It's just like I don't see how any man in the right mind could be like, I don't care about my kid. No, I'm cool. Like what? Like how do you do that? How do you have a kid and just be like, I don't care if I see him. I'll see him, send him some money.
Yeah, turn him into
that's wild to me.
It's Thursday, dog. It's Wednesday.
Yeah. Right. Detroit, you got 20 seconds, Detroit. 20 seconds. What's up? Yeah, turn him into
that's wild to me.
It's Thursday, dog. It's Wednesday.
Yeah. Say something, nigga. Excuse me. Say something, man. I think that's the first time I said the N-word.
On mute.
You on mute? We don't hear you. All right. See you tomorrow. There you go. We hear you now.
You be ready, boy. You be ready to get on me. No, my phone was ringing and my mic was down. I'm messing with my settings. So what's up to the peoples, man? I was listening, then my son got the cutting up, so I had to mute it and get off it and get him straight. I'm listening, man. Just salute, man. Salute.
Salute, man. How you doing? How mom's doing?
Man, well, you know, she's still in convalescent home, man. She up in the D. Out here in Atlanta. Great slide up there within the next 3 weeks. I ain't got my date mapped out, but she doing good. All is well. Thank you for asking, brother.
Sure.
Hey, Kyle.
What's up, big dog?
I'm coming, baby. I'm coming. I'm moving slow, but I'm coming. I'm working my shit out. What's up with you, Max?
What's up, big dog?
Chilling, man. I be inside. Like, hey, even when I ain't on here, I don't tap in, man. I'm in the. I might be in the bed, but I'm listening. Just showing support, man. Showing love to the motherfucking channel, man. That's it, man. Y'all was in here talking good shit. I just decided to tap in. Y'all go ahead and get it in.
I'm glad you quit. Thank God.
Yeah. Kyle, you going? You going on?
Yeah, you know.
We on right now. We just waiting on Max to shut the fuck up. Waiting on you to get the fuck out of here. And
I'm gonna slide in there right now, Kyle. I'm on you today, man. You ain't going to sleep this early. Fuck that.
Yeah, play the motherfucking songs, Fred.
You gotta stay up. Play that shit.
You about to hurt Kyle's feelings.
Hold on, brother. So your role. Okay, first of all, it's in the words of the great philosopher DB.
That's right.
Fredro. Play the song, Fred.
I got y'all. Andrew Martin, champ. Hey, Champion Heart, I got an idea, man. I'm gonna bring it up on the show. You text me about your chili. I got an idea. How about a what is it called? How about like a co-op deal? But you got to do all the legwork and the expenses. Like we could do barbershop products. You know what I mean? I don't know. See how it goes. You know, like where it's a profit sharing with the barbershop. We all put in the same investment. You know what I mean? And we see where it goes. You know what I mean? Like we all put in $50 or $100, and to create, I guess, what Champion Heart needs. But we'll talk about it tomorrow. For sure. Hey, let's replay that Salmon tomorrow at 9:00. Why not? It's our show. Right? Yeah, that shit was fun.
Peoples Hernandez.
Yeah, this was a great show. This was a great show. Great show. Thank you, guys. The number is starting to go back up, too. We're over 300 the past 2 nights. Yeah, that's good.
Head over to the boxing section. Head over to the boxing section.
For sure. Yeah. You got to interview me soon in the next 30 days for the film when I get the trailer. The trailer should be here in the next 30 days. The poster should be done by the end of next week. Oh, man.
And, man, your next movie, man, Kyle Davis got to be in it, man.
Yeah, that's for sure. This one was fucking.
At least that nigga try out, man. Damn, you ain't let me get an audition or nothing. Damn.
Yeah, this movie, instant classic. Yeah, it's my personal statement. Thank y'all for coming in, man. Thank you, Dewan B. Thank you, Duncan, for coming through. Yeah, go subscribe, go support Dewan, man. Yeah. You think I'm an agitator? Shit, that motherfucker's an agitator. When the Lakers be playing, oh, that motherfucker be having so much fun. Yeah, he be using social media as a social experiment. I know 200 niggas gonna think like this. Watch this. I know that's what he be saying. Damn. I usually take a shower before the show. Great. I usually take a shower before the show, but I gotta take one after. That's what slows me down sometimes too. You know what I mean? Like I be wanting to do everything before the show. Telling you the truth, man. It's all in what you. I appreciate y'all, man. It's love. Great show, man. Tomorrow's Thursday, Kyle. Tomorrow's Thursday. And maybe we'll talk about Shakur tomorrow. You know,
I got this shit all mixed up, boy. I'm telling you.
It's fine. It's a great week. All right, love y'all, man. All right, Jarvis.